Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we are playing Dark Bant Beanstalk Control. We have got a really cool mana base here. I've taken out the Wastelands, and Wasteland is a solution to Urza Saga and a couple other problematic lands, but we have Dress Down to deal with constructs. I've got 2 main deck Dress Downs, and this also bumps up the blue count. I've also gone down to 19 lands because we don't have to play Wasteland anymore, so every single land produces 1 or more colors. I have the basic plains in here in addition to the island, which seems crazy in a 4-color deck where you actually are casting cards that cost, black mana, for example, and green mana, but that's a total minimum. We've just got the exactly 4 Thoughtseize and exactly 4 Beanstalk as our sole splash color cards, and then we're able to play just a ton of blue cards so that we can support our Force of Will, and we've got Murktide Regent and Quantum Riddler as our finishers here. These also trigger the beans, of course. We've got the Plows, and we've got Leyline Binding as our removal spells, and then post-board, we go hard into either stopping combo or stopping aggro. So we have the 4 Force Negations and 4 Consigned Memories, in addition to our 4 Thoughtseize and 4 Forces, mind you. And then against aggro, I just went all the way up to 3 Terminus. This card is insane against any go wide strategy, Affinity, Energy. So why not play 3 of them? I've also got a Prismatic Ending that can come in against tempo decks, and of course we've got the 3 carpets that come in against tempo decks to ensure that we have the mana to keep the card advantage flowing. 4 Lorien Revealeds. We can really have some nasty exchanges with our opponents where we're basically hellbent and then we just top deck a Lorien Revealed and boom, we're back in it. So I'm very hyped to be playing that in addition to playing our card generation engine. Now again, this doesn't have Tamiyo in it, so it's not going to have that crazy just stealing wins that you get with Tamiyo, but I'm hopeful that we'll be able to go long, and almost every game is going to go long, and hopefully we'll be able to control our opponent and close. First round has already started. We're up against a likely land strategy. This only has 1 colored mana source. I'm going to mulligan it. This is better. Double Beanstalk plus. We can get a basic island here, and then we can't get the basic plains, which I would like to get. I'm going to just put back Murktide. It's not an early game card. And, of course, when you go up against lands, they do have the possibility of just going Chrome Mox, or Mox Diamond, discard, Loam, and get all their cards back. The exploration is scary, too. So we can't interact meaningfully early on. We just have to try to establish our mana base, which they are going to be attacking, more fiercely than any other deck that we might face. Expedition map. So this is probably just going to go get Urza Saga, but it might get the big scary card. They don't know what they're up against, though. Another Lorien Revealed. I do want to make sure that I have a land drop for next turn. So what I'll do is I'll do this, and I'll just chill with Lorien Revealed. So I'm just going to get the basic island here. I guess I could have pondered for a Force. I don't think it's really going to help us here. This is one of the matchups where not having Wasteland is pretty brutal because we just don't have a way to get through. If they have Tabernacle or they have multiple mazes of Ith, they can just make us run out of clock. That's a legit win con when you're playing lands, is just timing your opponent out, because you just make life so annoying for them that they can't win. And recently I've played, I think there were 2 different leagues where I went against lands twice in a row. They did find the loam, so we're probably screwed here. There's their land. They have 2 cards left in hand, so let's go ahead and I'm going to get the island, and then I'm going to Lorien Revealed. And I'm going to do this because they're almost certainly going to find a Wasteland if they haven't already found one. And here, I'll just go ahead and get... a Tundra is probably the most important color for later. We have a lot more white cards. We have twice as many white cards as we have black cards in our deck. Okay, so here we're just going to go with the Beanstalk. Plow's a nice rip. I don't think they're going to be able to kill us in step, so we'll just continue to build value here. They may waste this. They can waste multiple times in a turn cycle because of exploration. It's pretty bad all around. Thoughtseize is a dead draw. There's no way we're Thoughtseizing them here. Most of their cards are lands anyway. So they'll probably just surveil here. Commercial district. So they're playing red. We don't know what they're playing red for. They could be on the Punishing Fire type build, but I don't see that very frequently. Okay, and they're still whiffing on lands. This is actually really good. They only have Windswept Teeth in their graveyard, so We got really lucky here. They put 3 non-lands into the graveyard. Expedition map. I think it's likely that they just get... no, there's a wasteland. They're going to start wasting us. Okay. So unfortunately, I don't have a way to get... I don't have a way to get another Green Force this turn cycle. Unless I just luckily draw it. Okay, so... They're going to be able to waste us every single turn for the rest of the game. I do want to find my planes. I'm going to try to ponder and find a path to a planes. But I do also want to cast my Beanstalk. So, I mean, these cards are insane, but they don't really help us. We could... Yeah, I guess we just force, and that buys us time. The plows are not good, unfortunately. But I can just shuffle this away. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take the force... I'll take the Riddler too, I think. I'll do this. Now what I can do is I can just play this out, and I can use this to cycle for a land in the end step. Then I can riddle and get a bunch of cards. I think that might be okay. But we are going to force their... they're almost certainly going to loam here. What? They drew? Why would you draw there? You could wastelock me. Maybe they're trying to find a third land so they can get all 3 lands back, but they probably would have found a land had they... Oh, did they already have it in hand? They may have already had it in hand. Okay, so we are going to counter this. I'll just pitch the Ponder here. Do I want to draw this? I mean, this does double trigger, but like I could find another land or another force. We're not going to be able to get Hellbent, unfortunately. I'm trying to decide whether I want to go ahead and Lorien Revealed now. Brainstorm is the thing that we'd really like to find. Drawing 2 cards is fine, but then they're just going to waste us. And yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and just go get a green source. And this is our last non-enters the battlefield tapped green source. Okay, Ponder's fine. So we stop that. Do they have a land drop? They do. Grove of the... Okay, so they are on that Punishing Fire thing, which is not good against our deck at all. So that's a blessing. Okay, so we could bind this, but it's just not where we want to be here. I want to go up the Beanstalk because they can start wasting 2 times per turn, essentially. So we're really in the danger zone here. Dress Down's a great rip. I'm going to ponder for a land. Wait. Yeah, I already played the Trop, but I'm going to ponder. I'll ponder for a Brainstorm or a Force. Okay, this is fine. I don't like Leyline Binding. We're probably not going to ever cast it. If they double force us or if they double waste us, it's really bad, but I think what I have to do is I have to stick a Murktide next turn and then hope that they don't find one of their many Life from the Loam type cards. I'm going to have to pitch the Dress Down here, but I will draw 2 cards. But a lot of that card is just air that doesn't do anything against their deck, unfortunately. Plow, Thoughtseize. We're going to dramatically change our deck in during the sideboarding process. So let's hit that. We don't want them getting 3 more lands. There's Merc. There's the Leyline Binding we don't want. That doesn't really do anything here, but they don't get it to waste us. When I cast this Merc, we are going to draw 2 cards. We can take away Exploration and draw 2 cards. That seems pretty good. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have plenty of cards in the graveyard. I think I hold up Leyline Binding. No, I'm going to go ahead and cast the Leyline Binding here and just hit their Exploration. This is probably the last chance we're going to get to do... Oh, Brainstorm is great. Again, if we had more mana, I would definitely Brainstorm away the Plow and the Thoughtseize, but we're probably not going to get that anytime soon. So let's go ahead and blue, threat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to leave a Force in the yard just in case we miraculously get to do stuff. It could be that they're distracted by this Merc and they don't start wasting us. They just give up on it. It's a possibility. Again, I want to emphasize, like if they just, yeah, that's fine. They can get that back. They're not going to be killing this with that for sure. They do loam. They find Boseiju, 2 Boseijus, and then they still have the Wasteland and the Fetch. But Boseiju could clear this and get this back. but it would give me a land, which I'm fine. Like, I'll take a land in exchange for this. Mox Diamond. Okay, so they're ramping a little bit here. I just don't want them to find... I need to hit them at least twice. Okay, there's the Wasteland. I think they are going to go after one of my lands here. Probably... Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. I did find the basic plains, which is nice. Okay, so another Beanstalk. I think this is worth casting. And then we still have Leyline Binding up. We could take their Mox. It's not super strong. Delta. Oh, Delta, I put Force on top. This gets bigger. They're dead in 2 swings. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Okay, so Sanctuary. I would like to do that. Okay, this grows. Now I'm going to blue. I'll actually keep that one up. Blue, green. Let's beans. Draw a force. They're going to besiege you our land. I can brainstorm on top of this so I can get my force. I think that's worth doing. And then I'll just use the free shuffle. Okay, this works out fine. So I don't want the Thoughtseize. I don't think I want the plow. Okay, so now we go get a land with a basic type. Yes, I'd like to use the ability. That worked out great. I will get an Underground Sea here. And now I can Leyline Bind it a second time, and I can draw a bunch of cards in the process. So we'll draw a card here. Thoughtseize doesn't do anything. I'll just discard that. Let's go white. Leyline Binding. Again, I'm denying them the ability to use this twice. All right. So let's go ahead and hit that. And they can, of course, do it again next turn, but I will force. Let's go in for 9. They're half their life total. Now we will pass. At this point, I don't really need this Beanstalk, I don't think. I don't need the Thoughtseize. Well, yeah, I'll just put back these two because the planes might actually be useful. I don't want to deck myself if the game goes on really long, and the game can go on really long because all they need to do is drop like a Mazavith. And okay, interesting. They didn't do anything. I think they just have accepted they're going to die here. All right, so let's go ahead and come in for lethal. Not waste any more clock. All right, we took the first game of the league. That felt great. Yeah, it is scary to not have Wasteland here. We've got Force Negation, though. We're quite good. And Prismatic Ending can come in. Cards that come out are our Plows. These are only good against Merit Lage and the Construct tokens. Oh, I want to take out all the Thoughtseizes, too. So that means I can bring in some cards. I could bring in Consign. It does stop some stuff. It's not spectacular. I think it's nice that it's just a blue card. Yeah, again, I feel like these Plows are really, really stinky in this matchup. But we may see like that in this next game, we may see that they're doing something where Plow is good. But I know Prismatic Ending is going to be good against them. We'll keep all our lands in. That's just an illustration of Murktide just being like an incredible finisher. Because it would have taken us forever to get Quantum Riddler going. And that was how you outrun Wastelock, essentially. Wastelock is very brutal, and we're one of the few decks that can outrun it. Obviously, if we had like Uro in our deck, that would help us ramp faster, and that would be a good way to do it as well. I don't think Uro is nearly as strong as Beanstalk is, but it is an engine that helps you potentially outrun lands Wastelock. And of course, if you're just playing like basic lands, then you can ignore it. If you're on Jeskai control, like you laugh in the face of lands. But for a deck like ours that's 4 color, now it's only 3 color. We took all the black out. And it's barely 3 color because we were really just splashing for Beanstalk itself. But yeah, there's a lot of risk here. They are up about 4 minutes on us. But I think for game 1, that was not bad. I just am afraid we're going to have to play a third game. And clock really becomes an issue. This hand is great. We can get the basic going. We can get the basic planes, and then we can Lorien Cycle for Island, and then Bob's our uncle. Like, they can go after our basics if they have Ghost Quarter, but we are going to be able to stop at least 1 loam, probably 2. And you stop the loam, you stop the lands player. They can go for early, like Merit Lage would be crazy, but they could go for it here. I'm not going to force that. I will force like crop rotation, but like if they just have early Merit Lage, we still have Prismatic Ending and 4 Leyline Bindings that can deal with it. I'll do this. We drew another force. Can't draw too many forces. At the worst, it pitches to itself. It pitches to other forces. Wasteland. Okay, this is fine. They're just going to activate this in the end step. So I'm going to go ahead and get my basics under me. So there's definitely an argument for just pondering here just to see what we can find and keep forward momentum, because I'm not going to be brainstorming with a hand like this. Like, my hand is great. I just want to see if I can line up even better stuff for next turn. I mean, it's hard to put these back, but it is more of the same. What I'm looking for is interaction to cover early Merit Lage. That's how we lose this game. There we go. So now, the problem though is this is sorcery speed. So if they can end step it, we can die. But if we can get a flying blocker, which unfortunately we don't have Tamiyo. Tamiyo is a great tool for blocking Merit Lage for a turn. So we could get Prismatic End it. Let's see what they're going to get. If they get Dark Depths, I'll be pretty terrified actually. And maybe there was an argument that we were supposed to force that. Forest. Okay, interesting. So I think what they're probably going to do is they're getting a bait. Why would they get a forest here? 7 library. I can let that resolve and then I can just end it. That does use my ending, but I think it's fine. Beanstalk. I wish I could cast that. I'm going to go ahead and play this because they're going to waste something. And this will be the proverbial pound of flesh. Sorry for the visual there. But like at some point that Wasteland is going to do something. All right. And we'll pass here. We're just waiting. Like hopefully they waste this and then we have green up for this. Right now we have 3 mana Leyline Binding. I mean, like trying to Merit Lage against a Beanstalk opponent seems crazy, but they might be crazy enough to do that. I might even do an Inset Brainstorm just to get deeper into my deck if they're wasting me, because I do want to find a green source for Beanstalk. Choke. Let's not say we did. I'm going to pitch. Gosh, I'm thinking about brainstorming here. Like this is a brutal card, obviously. Like it shuts down all but like 2 of our lands. And I don't want to deal with it for the rest of the game. I'm just trying to figure out, like, do I brainstorm to try to find something better? Because I was going to brainstorm anyway. Yeah, I think I'm going to just brainstorm here. Okay, yeah. I can safely force pitch force here. Or probably force pitch. I'll just force pitch brainstorm. And then I'm going to draw another brainstorm. Okay, and they have Ghost Quarter as their land, which is annoying. I'm not going to search. Okay, so I still have the brainstorm on top, which will be helpful because I need to dig for land. I'm going to use this because I know that I'm not going to need black for anything. Okay, Scrubland is fine, but it is going to get wasted, but something's going to get wasted. So I'll put this back like this. And we're just going to chill for a few turns, and hopefully they don't win. But I do have the next 2 things that they do covered. We're very vulnerable to Merit Lage now. They could actually make it immediately. I wouldn't be surprised if they wasted and they just went loam. And then I could stop that. But I do feel extremely weak here. Exploration's fine. I'm going to let that go. As long as we stop the loam, we don't have to worry about that. Karakas doesn't affect our deck at all. Blast Zone doesn't affect our deck at all. We have 0 1-drops. They could ratchet this up to like kill like a Beanstalk later. We'll chill. Next turn we draw a Beanstalk, which we also can't cast. They're going to ratchet that up to be able to kill Beans, which makes sense. But I will get a card off Beans, even if I don't get to do anything else with it. I'm just not sure how soon I'll be able to cast it. We do have 23 mana sources in our deck. If you include the Lorien Revealed, we will eventually find them. We could find a Murktide as well, and we could just protect the Queen. So this is the last of our dead draws, and now we're going to start making real draws after this. So I just want to point out, again, Loam is the key card. Like they can't really capitalize or do anything here. Yeah, that's fine. They're going to probably plan to... They're just protecting against Wasteland, which isn't in our deck. By copying this now. This can copy stuff, but it's technically a basic land, so we can't waste it. Okay, they're not doing anything. All right, let's take an organic draw. Oh, no. Yep. Got a full house up in here. Nothing going on. They have lots of good top decks, but so do we. Like a green source, and suddenly we're beanstalking. There's the maze. That will make it a little harder for us to win. They can even copy it, so we're going to need multiple win cons. Force of negation. Unfortunately, this doesn't do anything. I think I just dropped the force of negation because I'm going to want to, like beans, they're 2-for-1s. Force is better than force of negation for anything except for loam. That's fine. Okay, they haven't found the Urza Saga yet. Come on, deck. All right, there we go. Go ahead and Island Cycle. Let's grab a Trop here. And we'll beans. And they may blow this sooner rather than later. So they don't have to worry about... Because they have free mana floating. If they name Force with this, I could just use Force of Negation instead. But it does shut off a lot of what it can do. Well, I'm going to let it through. That may seem crazy. Okay, they named Force of Will. So I can just pitch these, and eventually maybe I can clear it with a Leyline Binding. I need white, though. If they haven't blown up, I'm going to wait for them to activate Blast Zone on this one before I play the second one, probably. Because I would like to have it. Okay, now they have a win con. So I need white stat. Oh, wait, they can just make it and attack me now. Yeah, there's nothing I can do. It doesn't use this. Yeah. They should see this line. And even if they hadn't, even if we'd forced that, it wouldn't have mattered. They would have still had like a lethal threat coming in. Yeah, we're good. Okay. So I think you're probably starting to see why this is a tough matchup for lands. If you haven't played it yourself, you will play it. Or a tough matchup for control decks against lands. Because they just go after your resources. I mean, even Ghost Quarter. Like, even our basics aren't safe. Yeah, because we would have had basic planes, and, we potentially would have been able to Leyline Bind. It's possible I should have gone ahead and forced the... there were several cards that I thought about forcing, but I didn't want to run out of resources because they could just top deck another choke, right? On the play, do we want to make any changes? Consign's really bad. Like, it doesn't do anything against their deck as far as I can tell. It's just a blue card. Could be that we do want some plows here just to stay alive. Maybe 2 plows and 1 consign. I don't know. This feels really bad. Maybe I do want to bring in some Thoughtseize. It's probably better than consign. We're on the play, so the high roll of us like discarding an exploration or something like that. I don't know. It doesn't feel right at all. This is a great hand. Yeah, we've got the dress down. Murktide to finish. The Force of Negation ties the room together quite nicely here. I think this is just... I think I'm going to Tundra and I'm going to Ponder, and I'm not going to play on basics. And the reason is... I do want to be able to, I'm going to keep this. And if they're going to waste, they're going to waste. We're going to stop them from wasting multiple times, but they are going to waste something. And sometimes you just have to make executive decision. I've got a backup land, but I want to make sure we do have a white source down. I might actually get scrub land because then I have Leyline Binding up next turn. No, I can't get scrub land because I want to be able to ponder. The card that's going to get pitched to Murktide to Force of Negation is certainly Murktide. But it's important to note, Force of Negation does not stop crop rotation, which is one of the most potent cards in their deck. They could have double waste, and I could lose both my lands, and then I wouldn't be able to Lorien Revealed. I think it's worth going ahead and getting the Tundra, though. Also, I only have 11 minutes on my clock, which may seem plenty, but lands is just so clock consuming. Yeah, I'm going to get Tundra here, and I'm going to go ahead and Ponder. Cards we're looking for are just really more lands. I think this is a shuffle. Okay, Lorien Revealed is great. So I can use that to go get the black to get an Underground Sea, and then I have Leyline Binding on the subsequent turn. Mox Diamond. Leyline Binding. Lorien Revealed also fuels Merc. If I do decide to Merc. Okay, that's a good card. But we do have the Antidote. Sorry. Antidote is something else. That's fine. Elvish Reclaimer is a big pain in the butt. I need to clear that stat. I didn't know that was in their list. We didn't see it in the previous rounds. That has to die. Had I known that was in their deck, I absolutely would have brought in the plows. And I haven't seen that in a land deck in a while. So all we can do here is just Luring Revealed, but I can trying to think if there's any reason to hold up Dress Down. Maybe just not show them that we have the Luring Revealed. I've already made my land drop. Yeah, I'll just chill for a turn cycle. Then I have end step Luring Revealed or Dress Down. But I'm gonna almost certainly want to use Dress Down to clear these constructs. I think they'll go the construct route this time. But this just gives them so much flexibility. They can protect this as well with Sajiri Step, which is probably in their deck. They can just go get Wastelands every turn and waste us. But importantly, they can't really use the Saga and the Reclaimer in the same turn cycle. So I'll absolutely ley line bind this the moment I get a chance. So I'm hoping they use it during their main phase because they can just protect itself by sacrificing a land. Also, if I don't move on it quickly, what it'll do is with the search trigger on the stack, they sacrifice it and then they go get a land and they also get the Urza Saga search. Pretty backbreaking. This is a very skilled lands opponent. I've played against them a lot over the year and a half, 2 years that I've been on MTGO. They're activating. This is great for us. This means that Reclaimer's likely not going to be able to do anything here. They get a Wasteland. That is fine. I'll let it happen. Okay, that was our land drop. Now I'll just go get another Tundra. I'll take one. That's not a big deal. I wish I could get the scrub land, but I can't. Not with Luring Revealed. So if there's no way that we're going to be able to ley line bind this, actually. Yeah, this is a terrible situation. Riddler. I mean, sadly, I think Riddler's probably the best thing we can do here. Because he draws us a card, and this mana is not going to get used for anything. I could Dress Down in the end step, and that way they can't use this, but they'll just do something else instead. I think I'm just going to Riddle. Come on, land. All right, we still have one land that we can use to brainstorm to find another land, but this is just all about land destruction, this match. So this is going to trigger. I can't stop it. They're going to be able to get a thing. They can go ahead and pay to cycle it. We still don't have anything to kill with our Dress Downs, unfortunately. But maybe they'll create those later. They could also go for early Merit Lage. They could search for Lava Spur Boots and they can activate this. Okay, and they're doing that with the search trigger. So they're going to go to land, probably a Wasteland. And they're just going to keep wasting us until they can get through our mana. Oh, they're just getting another one. Okay, that's fine. All right, and then the card will probably be Lava Spur Boots. They might go after our graveyard knowing that we play Murktide. They just get a Mox, okay, and they discard Cradle. They have Yavimaya, which actually helps us. If they take us off Trop, we have green now. This is the Loam. This is the Force on your Loam that I kept this hand on the strength of. Hopefully you don't have another. All right, and if we can draw a land, please, deck, if we can draw a land, we can ley line bind this thing and we'll be kind of out of the woods. That's 3 types. I'm going to do it. It needs to go. Yeah, and they can blow this up and get it back. But, yeah, we got lucky and made a land drop there organically without having to take a turn to brainstorm. So now they're probably on the Construct Express, which we have an answer for. I mean, this is good too, but it's not really what I'm looking for. I want to make a land drop and be able to clear their constructs, but I'm actually fine with taking a hit from the constructs. I'm going to brainstorm first. Come on, fetch. I don't like the Thoughtseize here at all. I can't shuffle it away. I'm not going to be able to cast this Leyline Binding here. Actually, I could Thoughtseize them real quick, just in case they have a follow-up threat. But then I can't Merc. Let's see. I'm not going to cast this turn. So let's see. I mean, they could crop rotate, but I need a force up. Yeah, it's kind of an awkward situation. I don't think I want this Thoughtseize. I just don't think it's worth it. I'll put the Merc on the table here. And I'll make my land drop. Blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue, blue. All right. So we've got this out. And if we get another land, which might happen, then we can deal with... and then we can deploy this. But we have to stop another Loam if they have it. They're paying cost to do something. Is this Pyroblast? That's fine. Okay. I don't really care about that. I just want to, and that's where if I had Thoughtseize first, I could have taken that. So that was, yeah. I didn't think they'd have Pyroblast in, but it makes sense that they would since they're playing red. Okay, hopefully they just try to kill me with constructs and I can deal with that. Like the scariest thing they could do, yeah, this is fine. So one of these is not actually going to die, unfortunately. It'll still be a 1-1. No, wait, it'll be 1-0. So it will die. Okay, I'll take my 11 here. Scary. They are tapped out of Pyroblast, so I do need to dress down now. And I could Thoughtseize them. I don't hate that. I'm not going to have Force Up, which is terrifying. Draw trigger. Let's do it. I'm low on life, but I don't think it'll be an issue. They're Force of Vigoring, so they get back the elf. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. And now Thoughtseize is definitely going to hit a land. Yeah, Beseiju. Okay, well, they're probably going to win here. They can actually equip this and just attack us for 4 immediately and get us to dead. Basically, I didn't think about Force of Vigor either. Yep, that's what they're going to do. So I can clear this, but I'll be at 1 for the rest of the game. If I can top deck a Beanstalk, that's pretty good, because then I could Beanstalk and Leyland Bind to get up a card. I can plow my own dragons. That's the only way I can gain life in this. Unfortunately, I just don't have a choice. I just have to Leyland Bind this. And then they Beseiju. So I have to do it during their turn so that they can Beseiju with the trigger on the stack, and then it doesn't even leave play. If they're smart, they should be able to stop me here. I can do it twice. I can do it twice. No, I can't because of the freaking ward. Oh, beating. Yeah, and like even if they like, oh, I get a land from Beseiju, but I don't know if it enters tapped. If they make the mistake of doing this before the ward trigger, like they're making the mistake. They're making the mistake. They're going to Beseiju now, which is fine. Now I don't have to pay the ward. I'm going to use the ability. I'm going to go get a, I guess I'll just get another Tropical Island. And it comes in untapped. So that ward trigger resolves. I'm not going to pay it. Now I can go white, blue, Leyland Bind. And now I can afford the ward because they missequenced. They should have made me pay the ward before they did the thing. I think they can do that. But like literally any creature they can deploy can immediately kill me now. So I'm in a very precarious situation. But I do have 5 lands, so I can do this. I'm going to do this. Just, Actually, if I brainstorm, I might be able to find a land and draw 2 cards. I'm going to try it. This is greedy. Just pass under 5 minutes. Okay. So what I can do, so I'll put back this force. I can't use it. I'll put back this fetch. Now I play this. Now I go blue, colorless, blue. This is going to be a miracle if I can pull this off. We get 2 cards. They're both bad cards that I can't use. And now we pass. If they continue to brick, we're okay. If they have anything, we're screwed. Okay, that's a brick. I don't know what their last card is. Okay, so there's nothing I can do to get these cards out of my hand. There's no point in playing this. Like, I'm just going to go ahead and cast my spell first. And I could do this with warp, but I just need to get on I need to beat them down quickly before they draw more stuff. That's actually a pretty good draw because now I've got like some defense in place and I can just Riddler again. This will be an upset if I can win here. They can get their elf back if they have, but they don't have enough mana. They're copying my scrubland. That's fine. I'm not sure what utility that is. Merit Lage does not have trample. Lava Spur Boots does not give it trample. They need 2 cards. Oh, no, wait. They just need the actual Dark Depths and they can do that. I don't have Plow on my deck, actually. So there's no way for me to gain life. So I'm... if they are able to cast Loam, I think I just die. Because they'll be able to pump out a bunch of constructs and do stuff like that. Riddler draws a card when he comes into play, but that's all he does. Crop rotation. Okay, this is probably going to get Merit Lage. Again, I can't force it. I would love to force it. I could hold up force. but I need to be on the offensive here. So Merit Lage is immediately going to erase one of these. Then I can play another one. I can attack again. Okay, I think that, like, I'm surprised they chose that. Okay, Lorien Revealed is great. I can make a land drop here. Is there any card that I want to put on top of my deck? I could put a Brainstorm on top. I'm just trying to think, is there a way that they could clear one of these and then attack me for lethal with this? I don't think so. I'm going to make sure that this resolves first. I'll draw a card and then I'll know what to Lorien for. Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. I mean, I could hold up Force 2, but I think it's unlikely they draw a card that I have to force here. Thoughtseize is a terrible rip. I'm just going to keep attacking them, and they have to kill me next turn. This will be pretty big, but it won't... they can give it haste. Scrubland. Okay, that's fine. They can make 2 next turn. If they want to. Wait, will that do it? That won't do it. Because I have a blocker. So they need to clear my dude, which they can do with a blast if they have it. But they have to draw it. This has been an insane game. I genuinely think they erred when they didn't go get Dark Depths. Because they could have just Lava Spurred and then equipped and attacked and killed my idling Quantum Riddler that had Summoning Sickness. Okay. They have one more card in their hand. What is it? What they could do is if they can kill this, then they could, make a dude and Lava Spur. No, they wouldn't have 2 hasty beats, and they're not getting through a 4/6. So if they create a construct, it's only a 5/4, even with the Lava Spur equipped. So it won't kill my Riddler. They said, haha, check. They have Minsk and Boo. That would be crazy. That actually wouldn't have been able to get through Riddler either. Insane match. Insane way to start the game. Great games. As always. Yeah, very chill opponent. My hand, I'll just reveal it to them, was brick. It didn't do a damn thing. I can't believe we won that game. All right, we're up against an opponent in round 2 who is using a Mac to record their leagues, just like I do. They're using my setup, which is I might remember to link it in the description. Likely on Cradle Control. This hand's super flexible. I'm going to keep it. So the one thing we don't have going is we don't have removal in this hand. Mountain, okay. Boulder, good card. I'm not going to force it. Okay, Binding's great. I'm going to just go ahead and Thoughtseize them. See if we can take an Engineer. Another Welder. Well, I'll take that. Their hand doesn't do a lot. They have Urza Saga. I don't care about Pithing Needle. It doesn't really do a lot against my deck. They could name Flooded Strand, which would be very good, and that would screw me pretty hard. I don't have a Savannah in my deck. Okay, so they're just coming in for 1, which is great. They did choose Wasteland, which is not in my deck. For the first time, I think, in months that I'm playing without Wasteland in my deck. I mean, like when I play some of my no reserve list, but like to play a control deck without Wasteland, it's scary territory. So, I mean, the simple thing to do here is just plow before anything bad can happen. But, I need to get up. I can't cast Beanstalk. Four color deck problems. I can't Beanstalk here. This is an argument for putting Savannah in my deck, but it's the only argument. Like, this won't come up that much. Yeah, I'm just going to clear this just out of respect for if they have like Engineer into, Chaos Defiler or something like that. Actually, that wouldn't matter because I'm not doing anything with my board here, but I like to clear those when I can. And we did need white for Leyline Binding. We can hard cast a Leyline Binding next turn if we need to. Okay, so they have constructs that we need to respect. But other than that, Murktide does a lot here. I am thinking about just riddling just to see if I can find like a high roll into a green source. Murktide is a much better blocker and he is much more deployable. I could just Leyline Bind one of their dudes when they attack. And then that's not going to fill up my graveyard, unfortunately. But I can dodge some damage that way and hold up interaction rather than dropping my guard a little bit with Riddler. They're likely playing a whole bunch of Pyroblasts as well, which is something we need to keep in mind. This is the first of them. I would love to have gotten this Beanstalk out, but I wouldn't have access to white at all had I gone for the trop. We got unlucky and we drew a whole bunch of black mana, which, we just like, and that'll happen too. You'll draw like a bunch of trops. Yeah, this is fine. Let's see what they get. I want them to go aggro, and get like the Lava Spur Boots. They just get a petal. Okay. Do I want to save 4 life? I think I do. And this saves more life next turn too. I'll just choose that. So this is now a 3/3, which is nice. This research desk is fine. It does buff. They probably could have played it before combat, but maybe that tells me that maybe they were holding a pyro and they didn't want to use the Lotus Petal. Murktide. All right. At this point, I can't really wait any longer. I do need to get land. So I'll just a Riddler here. This might just get blasted if they have it. It's a 1-for-1, but it's actually a 2-for-1 if they crack the petal. So we get a card. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to go up the Beanstalk. And now this force is going to draw us a card, even if it gets pyroed. Perfect. Yeah, this is great. Like that was basically the best possible rip. And now we're pretty like, I'll force pitching one of these and then I can, we'll take 4 here. I'm just assuming that they're going to have a whole bunch of blasts that we're going to have to work through, and Beanstalk is instrumental to us working through them. What I think here is I could get the Thoughtseize out of there. No. I think I'm just going to go ahead and ponder first. And maybe they blast that. I don't think that's likely, but that would be cool if they decided to blast that. Okay. It does look like that's what's happening. Okay. And now what I can do is I could just Merc. Do I want to put the Plow on top? It's a good card in the matchup. I can do it after I've played it out, but then, yeah, I'll just do it now. I could put a Thoughtseize on top and just Thoughtseize them again, but I'm worried about like losing life. Like there's a decent chance they also have a blast from a Merc. So now we go blue, and I'll have a Plow up, which feels pretty good. It is a smaller Murktide, but it's fine. It doesn't need to be big. It just needs to block for a couple turns. Do they want to use another blast? They don't. All right, that's great. So we've got a bigger blocker, and I can just Plow if they play like some other creature. They may use this in the end step. They're doing some damage to themselves here. So we can protect the queen on this Merc. And next turn, I can actually play this out of Warp too. So actually, if I force here, I'll draw a card. But if I Plow as well, then I'll be Hellbent when this arrives. I'll get a card off this, and then it'll be in play, and then I'll draw 2 cards. So we're looking at 3 cards next turn if everything goes like I want it to. Lightning Bolt's fine. I'm going to just Plow this thing. I don't want to take the damage. I'm going to force this. Draw trigger. What's your last card? Is it Blast? Okay. So I'm not completely Hellbent. If I find a land off this Ponder, then I can get to Hellbent, but it needs to be, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do it, I don't think, because this costs me mana to use. I do want to get this out this turn. I think I just go ahead and get the land, because I do want to get a land. Get another Tundra here. Play it out. What? Yeah, I can't find anything. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. So I will get 2 cards. It's not bad. And our opponent is doing nothing over there. Leyline Binding's great. Okay, another Lorien. I'm just going to come in for 5. We'll pass. They're dead in maybe 2 turns. But like this Leyline Binding was a huge draw. They could just have the combo. They have the mana to kill it. No, they're 1 mana shy of being able to kill it straight up if they have Painter and Grindstone in hand. Fable? Oh, they're using the desk. They're unearthing it. It's a cool card advantage engine. Okay. So they get to look at 2 cards. The cards that they exiled here were... Oh, they do have a Grindstone. Okay, this is You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. I love the art on this, by the way. It looks like it's so cool. I wish I had that in my hands. That'd be so amazing. It'd probably melt my hands. But sacrifice this artifact, create a 2/2 tapped robot creature without flying. So it's not going to help them on that front. But yeah, that's fine. They get to draw 2 cards, discard a card, and draw 2 cards. Okay, let's see what they discard. They discard Urza Saga. Okay. Well, that wasn't going to help them there, but it is a good card. Okay, so they have 2 cards in their grip. They have 1 red mana open. So that gets exiled. This is sacrifice, create a tapped. Is it tapped artifact? Yeah, it's mediocre. I mean, I'm sure they have their reason for playing this. It does give card quality. Okay, so here, I don't think there's a way we can just straight up win. Like, we could find a second Merc that could push us into victory territory. I think I'm just going to start with I'm going to start with the Ponder and see what we find. This force is pretty sweet. I don't really need to move my mana forward. I'll just do this. And then I have a plow on top of my deck if I need it. And then I think we just come across. And we have force, Lorien revealed. I could make a land drop. I think it's probably worth making a land drop just to advance my game plan. I'm like really far ahead. No, wait, I can't do that because I need to have force. Well, technically I could have Hardcast force up. They're not going to daze it. So it's kind of free to make a land drop. But then, like, yeah, it would be nice to be able to plow and Leyline Bind and do all that stuff in the same turn cycle, just in case something crazy happens here. They're at 2. They can't tap their tomb, so I don't think we need to worry about them. Yeah, I think we were in a very strong position, and it's because of Beanstalk. So this is definitely a prismatic ending matchup. I do like Terminus in this matchup because they do often go wide. Cards that are less good here, Thoughtseize is, I mean, they're an aggro deck. It's just not where I want to be on the draw. I might bring some of them back in for the play, be on the play, but like it also dramatically simplifies your mana base if you don't need to worry about getting black. I would like to work a Bayou into this. But then it's just like not all the fetches get all the lands. Currently, all the fetches get all the lands except for the basic plains. And then we'd have a basic plains and a Bayou that we can fetch. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I do think that, like, you know, Tundra is going to be the one we want to get the most. But I was thinking, like, okay, we can get a Trop, and then we have Scrubland, and that's all 4. And if you haven't figured out by now, like, we can't get full domain. But you don't need full domain. 2 mana for a Leyline Binding is still perfectly reasonable, especially if it's triggering Beanstalk. It's an instant speed O-ring for 2 mana, right? In those circumstances. This is an easy mulligan, no lands. This is an all-lander, but I'll keep it. It's not a complete all-lander. I'll just put back the Trop. They could bring in Blood Moon. A lot of Painter decks are playing it. I think the Trop's more important. Actually, the Underground Sea doesn't do a damn thing. We took out all our black. Okay, Ancient Tomb. This is fine. They can immediately use it, but they won't necessarily have the mana to fully exploit it. The cards are Very Scary, Fable, and Lotus Petal. They can just play the Petal now. Fable is terrifying though. If they choose, yeah, they're gonna. So they can do that next turn. So I'm almost certainly gonna have to stop a Fable. It just can't go forward. It's too strong. Wow, we're bricking. So I can Surveil here. They're almost certainly just gonna play this next turn. And I'm almost certainly gonna have to force it. That pretty much has to happen. If they also have Petal and Blast, we just lose, I think. I was thinking like it'd be nice to be able to fetch my planes, but if we're going to be surveilling, I mean, I could just fetch the planes here. This is a window where we could do that because they're almost certainly not going to be casting Blood Moon next turn, but they could be casted later. I would just hate to be locked out of the game because I didn't fetch my planes. So I would like to surveil, but I'm not going to. Again, like it's probably just a 2 of if they have it. If they do it now, it's actually totally fine. And I'll let it go through because I have the plains and then the island from hand. And I can clear it later. But this is almost certainly going to be Fable. And this just represents Blast. But I am going to force it. I'll make them use the Blast. They have to use the Blast sooner or later. Fable's too good. If we have a window to stop it, even if it's just a narrow chance, I should take it. They are taking a lot of damage from their Ancient Tomb here. Painter Servant. Scary. It resolves. Okay, now I can pitch lands to force, which is nice. Okay, so they opted, I guess, I didn't know they chose the Lotus Petal, but I guess maybe there was like an indication. No, it didn't show me. I think you're supposed to have to choose. So choose one of them. I didn't see anywhere in the logs where it told me they chose Petal. Yeah, that's terrifying. Or it sucks that MTGO is that way. Do I want to surveil here? I think I'll just be patient. Okay, Leyline Binding is great. So now we do have Leyline Binding because what we can do is we can get a trop and we can get, I like the flexibility of that. And then if they don't do anything, I can just surveil. But Leyline Binding plus Force gives us 2 points of interaction instead of just 1. So I can still get the basic planes if I need to. I'm just being extremely cautious about Blood Moon that might not even be in their deck. Okay, so I have to activate these here. So let's go ahead and get those 2 lands. That way I can hold up. And I still have a fetch to fetch Surveil land next turn. I'm going to get a Scrub land and a Trop. And then I have all 4 colors. But I'm not going to let them needle one of my lands. They are probably going to name Wasteland here because Wasteland would be a blowout. And if they watch my channel, they know I almost always play Wasteland. I'm just not playing it today. Stoneforge Mystic. Interesting. Okay. So they may think I'm in the blue-white Stoneforge Mystic. A lot of people have been playing that deck. So I think I let this go forward. I mean, I could just force this. Then they bolt. Oh, they blast. And then with the blast on the stack, I remove this. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll do this. And I'm going to pitch. I'll pitch this Trop. And I think they're going to attempt a blast. Oh, no, it'll still be red. It'll still be red even if I remove this, unfortunately. Yeah, so it's like I thought I was so clever. No. I'm going to have to remove. I'll remove the painter. I mean, I could buy tempo by like waiting for the exact moment to do this, but this, I just would hate for them to have like LED in hand or something. I guess if they had LED in hand, it would go on the stack, but yeah, all right. All right, you've got a grindstone. You've got 14 life. Let's see if I can find more interaction. Brainstorm. I'm going to ask my brainstorm to set me free here. I don't really have time to worry about fetching basics. These cards are terrible. I can get the basic island if I need to here. Sadly, I think this is just fetch Surveil to get deeper into my deck, and I have emergency brainstorm after the fetch to find a force if I need to. But if they have another painter, it's pretty dire. Soul Guide Lantern, that's fine. Okay. My main hope is that because they're going so low in life that I can like kind of steal a win with Murktide here. They're just drawing a card. That's nice. So it left my graveyard intact. They have another Ancient Tomb. Probably not the land they were looking for. They don't have red. All right, let's go get Surveil. Terminus. That goes in the yard. It's a nice dodge. Force is great. I think I want to start with a Brainstorm here. And then I can Lorien Cycle. I can put both of these cards back. Then I can Lorien I can Lorien Cycle, and then I can Riddler, and that saves some life. Yeah, I'll do that. Scrub a Tundra here. I'll play it out. Again, Blood Moon wrecks my world. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Cast with Warp just to make my... Okay, this is a great card. This will be probably aimed at that Riddler if they are able to resolve. I mean... Like if they put the painter on the stack, it's going to get forced, and then they may not have enough mana to fight. Holy cow, that's a ton of mana. Okay, wow. We're getting very lucky here. I do want to make another land drop here. Let's see what I find, but yeah, I can do this because I have Leyline Binding and Prismatic Ending. All right, this is great. I definitely want that dress down. I don't want the Underground Sea. I could take the Flooded Strand now, make my land drop, and then draw the dress down if I need it. I'm just going to be very hygienic here and stopping the thing that can immediately kill me out of nowhere. Now they need 2 cards to be able to do that. I can also put a force on top. I did go off of force here, but I have Leyline Binding. Okay, now they have a red source. Okay, that's a lot of mana. Fable is terrifying. So I could put Prismatic Ending on top. I think what I'm going to do... So I'm drawing Dress Down, which doesn't really help from this standpoint. Yeah, so this resolves. This is going to be a path to red mana for them, because this will be able to attack every turn. So I think what I need to do here is I bind this so they don't get any more value out of it. That should happen. And then I'm trying to decide whether I want to put something on top. I could put Lorien on top and just draw a bunch of cards. They're most likely tapped out, but I could also just play this. I think I want to draw a land. That way I can have 0 cards in my hand, or 1 card in my hand. Yeah, I'm going to take that so it doesn't eventually become this terrifying thing. Yeah, because if I find a land, then I can draw 2 cards, which would be really nice. Dress Down doesn't do that for me. I'll just go ahead and do it during my main phase. Let's go fetch. I'll get... I could get a Plains just in case of Blood Moon. I think that's totally fine. Okay, let's see. We draw a land, please. Beanstalk. Okay. I'm going to do that instead of playing this out of warp. Okay, perfect. Now I've got force up. But I mean, if I can find a plow, I would like to plow this. Let's dream a little bigger here. Merc comes down next turn, draws us a card. I could just dress down. Dress down and force in hand feels pretty good. Yeah, that gives us a lot of optionality. Like if they try to painter, we can dress down. You can only stop the painter with the trigger on the stack. I'm not going to stop them from creating a token here. I think the mana fight has shipped, or that the ship has sailed, rather. So I'll take 2. There's the Blood Moon I was worried about. They do have red mana up. It's pretty scary. I'm going to force this. Wait a second. What's my top card? I think it's Merc. I could pitch Merc instead of Dress Down. That gets me a card deeper into my deck. I'm going to do that because now I'm looking for my basic island or Lorien Revealed. Wait, is Lorien Revealed on top of my deck? Gosh, I can't remember, but I won't be able to pitch Lorien Revealed. I could have sworn there was a Lorien Revealed on top. I thought it was like Lorien Revealed, and if it was a Lorien Revealed, wouldn't I have used it? I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. Just to get a card deeper into my deck. It might be like a Ponder. Are they thinking about blasting this? If they blast this, then I'm screwed anyway. Okay, we get a card. Now I am going to force. I do get a draw trigger. And if we can somehow win this, I'm really glad I got that Ponder, by the way. Okay, there's the force, but unfortunately, I think the way they're playing, yeah, they have the blast. Okay, so we have to find an island before we get killed. Also, they just gave themselves tons of mana that's pain-free now. They have 1 card in hand. Welder. That gets back Mishra's workbench. Okay. So if we draw Lorien Reveal, this is really good. Leyline Binding actually clears this. And it draws a card. Yeah, I think it's worth doing. Okay, and we draw a land for turn, which is great. So they have their value engine, but they don't have, because we're using exile-based interaction, I can get a basic island here. I'm still vulnerable for sure, but if I can get this out, we'll be in a good position. And now their land does hurt them again. This is a crazy game. I'm really glad I grabbed that Plains. Remember when I thought about it and I was like, should I? They might have it. Yeah, well, that was probably the decision that saved the game if we even win this game. We have a little less than 8 minutes for game 3 if we lose this one. Goblin Engineer. This can put like anything into the graveyard. So I think we just lost. Because they can just put Chaos Defiler in there. If they're playing Chaos Defiler. I haven't seen black though. They may not be playing it. They may put the Dragon Engine, which draws a bunch of cards and is very good. But it's, yeah, that's good. So when this enters from the graveyard, so they can just put it in right now. Draw 3 cards. That's not bad. Then they'll likely draw a blast because they have tons of blasts. This deck plays like 7 to 8 blasts. Okay, that's fine. Draw a bunch of cards. They are low in life, but I am low in life too. Murktide would be good. It's not going to be good enough. If they found another Blood Moon, I think it's probably KO. This kills me. Like, I'm basically dead on board just to combat. Even if I play this out, this can block this. Yeah, it can block that. But I'll still take a ton, and they're likely sitting on a blast. I'm just going to grab Mystic Sanctuary, can get back Prismatic Ending. Is that good enough? So we get back Prismatic Ending. Oh, I can put Terminus on top. That's perfect. All right, so we'll go to our turn. We're going to draw a card off Terminus too, which is nice. Yes. This is insane. I love this card. Draw trigger. You lose your board. Now, I can play this even if they have a blast. I can force their blast. I'm going to do it. They have to have 2 blasts. They don't have the mana to have 2 blasts. Draw trigger. They're at 5. That was insane. double force. Yeah, I think we're good. This was an insane game. I'm really proud of myself for like having the discipline to get that planes. Because a lot of times, like there have been so many times when I just haven't. I've just been like, oh, but what if they have like, yeah. Let's stop this. I'll stop it with the brainstorm. Okay, you drew another land. Do they have another blast? Okay, they're thinking about using their land. Welder, that's fine. I don't think that changes the game dramatically. I can clear it probably because I can draw like a ton of cards next turn. Okay, let's go ahead and come across. They're at 1. They can tap this. They don't have any artifacts in play to use. I think it's fine to go ahead and just draw a bunch of cards here. I'll draw 2, 3. I think the odds of me not drawing a plow are low. Or the odds of me not drawing a blue card are low. There's Riddler. Okay, and Dress Down. Very nice. So I could just actually instep and deny them the ability to use this. Is that good enough? Or I could just Merc and draw a bunch of cards. And then I have a second threat. I think that's fine too. Let's go 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. Blue. Draw another card. Okay, and like, I don't see how I die here, but maybe there's some way that I'm not thinking of. I have force. They have to have 2 blasts and a land to be able to cast both blasts, and then I have force covering it. They don't have the mana to do anything really. Yeah, I mean, that was just, that Terminus made all the difference. And me like knowing, oh, I've got, like, that is why Terminus is so good. They had like an incredible board presence. And then I'd like, earlier, I think I surveilled this, and then like when I needed it, I put it in. Very cool games. We're 2-0. See you in round 3. Round 3, we're 2-0. We're up against a Delver player. We get a no-lander, but we are at least on the play. So land is going to be the name of the game. Oh, you test me, deck. You test me. I don't think Dress Down is good if they're on Delver, and they are almost always on Delver. So I'm going to lead with the Hedge Maze and just try to dig up some more lands. Murktide is potentially relevant. Dress Down really doesn't do anything against Delver. I mean, it can potentially save us some life. I think I'll just put back one of the forces. Right. And we're going to hope they are gentle with these Wastelands, because Wastelands are going to be all over the place. They mulled a 6 as well. Hedge Maze says, Thoughtseize, definitely binning that. Food for the Merc. Don't want to be losing life against Delver. Volk, DRC. I'm not going to force into potential days, especially when my force gets better when Beanstalk resolves. Also, I want to use force to protect Beanstalk. They have what I like to call the God Hand with Delver. They have the DRC and the Bobble, which helps it get Delirious really quickly. They kept the top card. They're checking my top. So I'm probably communicating Beans here, but to my knowledge, I'm the only Beans player who's playing black these days. Like Bug Beans is really falling off. Plow. Heck yeah. So I'll just do this turn. I need to get this off the table. And so if I get Scrubland here, I do have Domain, but it's much more important for me to get a Tundra here just to make sure I don't get wasted off blue. Okay, that got through. That was an important play because that might have been the threat that they kept their hand based on. Wasteland. Okay, so my white is gone for sure. All right, and now we're going to see whether I can draw a land. Delver. So they have a follow-up threat. This is, maybe going to kill me. I'm actually not that far from sticking a Murktide. I'm going to just chill and hope it doesn't kill me. Come on, deck. I've got, let's see, this is 2 out of 23 mana sources. I can't afford 3. So we've got 18 kicking around in there. Give me one, please, deck. No. All right. All right. This happens. We're favored. We're extremely favored in this matchup, but I wasn't going to mold a 5 looking for more lands. The matchup gets a lot better for us once we bring in the carpets. Okay, they whiffed on Delver, so we're just going to be taking 1 here. Okay, thank goodness it's not another Wasteland. I'll let that resolve. They're going to be able to set this up to where it'll flip, but I don't care. It's not worth forcing. I will force, Cutter at this point. They've already made their land drop. They may have feared Daze, but, they should have probably just seen what they found just in case they found a Wasteland. They know I'm on the ropes here. This deck lives and dies by its mana, and Delver attacks our mana very aggressively. Not quite as aggressively as lands, but basically as aggressively as anything else. I think I'm going to go for it. I could go for a Murktide, and that'll almost certainly get forced. That leaves me with Beanstalk. But this is my window to resolve Beanstalk. I think I'm going to go for the Beanstalk here. It's almost certainly going to get forced. I'll force back. At this point, if I get the Scrubland, they're probably going to be wasting me off white instead of this other color. Yeah, I'm going to get the Scrubland. I could have gotten the basic land like a coward, but I think I will need more colored mana. All right, so this is force on basically anything they use to stop this. Let's force. What? They don't force? Holy cow. And we got a land? Oh my goodness. All right, well, we can't play it immediately, and it is an ETB tap land. But we're going to Merc next turn. No, we can't Merc next turn. Oh, you know what? I freaking screwed up. I absolutely needed to grab a Tundra there so I could Merc next turn. I just didn't think there was any chance that it'd go through, but even then I should have Merced. So they are going to be hitting us for 3 here. Ponder's fine. If they find a Wasteland, it's a real bummer. Because Merc could be too... if they go after our Hedge Maze, after our blue source. Oh, no, they found it. I think we're going to lose, and it's a punt. Oh, they went after black. Okay, that's actually not that bad, because I can still Merc. It's just a turn away. Next turn, I will have Daze Protected Force of Will, which will cantrip. Okay, they don't have any more spells. All right, I'm just going to go for the Merc. I'm going to get a Tundra here. This is not my last white source. And even if they counter, I will draw a card. I'm going to make a baby Merc. 1, 2, 3. Well, I don't want it to be completely baby because I need it to be able to at least be 4. Yeah, this telegraphs to them that I do have another one in hand. But I'm going to do it. Draw trigger. They made Daze. I could force through. I think I probably do. The Thundering Falls. Are they going to Daze this back to the hand just to get another Surveil trigger? Oh, wow. It's in? Okay. All right. So if they fight this one, it's fine. I can force a bolt but they're not going to be able to just cleanly get through here. They don't even have... Oh, there's another freaking waste. But I do have more lands. Their own... Oh, Petty Theft. I'm going to attempt to force this. I'll pitch a Dress Down because I do want to try to stick a second Merc. This will cantrip. This also avoids the body associated with it. And wow, they still have not drawn any counter magic. We got extremely lucky here. They don't have good attacks. They can waste me though. All right, so I'm on defense. I'm going to do another Merc next turn. I don't think they have any counter magic. So this is going to go get a... This has to get a blue source. Underground Sea does nothing basically, but it does help me get domain. And then this other Flooded Strand will get plains next turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to swing in. I am going to be a little bit aggressive here because we just dealt with one of their 2 ways in their main deck to stop our Merc. So we draw. That's a nice rip. Yeah, just more fuel. We'll come across. So next turn we get to draw 2 cards potentially. Punishing or Unholy Heat will kill our Merc and allow them to swing through. Quarry Steel Cutter. They do trigger it. So they could just come across and try to pressure us. They're low on cards too. They're looking at their top card to see whether they want to keep it. They're opting not to attack. If we can clear this, can we kill them 5, 6? No, we can't. So I'm just going to be on defense now. The game gets better for us the longer it goes. I think I can just fetch a plains here. I do need a... What do I want to do? I think I'm going to fetch the plains first. Then I can ponder and Riddler. So I've got the plains now. I could ponder first. I mean, like the odds of them having a daze, and even if they have a daze, I get to draw a card. It's not that big of a deal. If I can find a plow for this, I do want to attack them. There's the plow. And these brainstorms are not bad either. They scoop to that. All right. Did not expect to win that after I started getting wasted. Cards are... yeah, I think Terminus comes in. Dress Down comes out. I've actually got a sideboard guide. Let me pull it up. Okay, so this sideboard guide is in the primer of the deck list, if you want to check it out. So we take out the 4 Thoughtseize. That's a very easy choice. We take out the 2 Dress Downs, and we take out 1 Riddler. It's just a little slow. Bring in 3 Carpets. Bring in 3 Terminus. We bring in 1 Prismatic Ending. 60. Perfect. Lots of stack removal. I don't cut forces in this matchup. You often die with cards in your hand. This is pretty sweet. I mean, Terminus in hand sucks. Don't get me wrong, but we can potentially put it back. The main thing is this has lots of land. And there's a decent chance that I can like hedge maze. Maybe they'll be trying to control my mana. Could I high roll into a better hand? Yes, absolutely. But I could also get like low land hands and suffer as a result. This way, at least I'm not going to die. Oh, that's another land. Well, I'm going to go ahead and play this out. That is exactly what I need. Let's keep that. So I'm going to try to do like a pretty late Terminus and use my life total as a resource. They're end-step brainstorming. So I want to keep the force to protect the Terminus. I just want them to put as many cards from their hand on the table before I Terminus. That's my goal here. They could have 2 forms of interaction, so I do want to get lots of creatures out. Okay, what is this? Double blue? I can't stop this, unfortunately. I would like to. It's not safe to stop it. I'll let them get some bodies. We could die very quickly here. That's 1 body. So we're going to take 2 this turn. But like if they daze back and I have literally no protection for my Terminus, that's very bad. I'm going to need to clear. So they can absolutely outvalue me because like now they have an engine online. And if they can keep cantripping every turn, they're going to get me. Okay, so hopefully I didn't just reveal Terminus because then they'll know Terminus is in my deck. Let's draw. Brainstorm. We knew that was there. I swear, I'm such an old man. I forgot that I put the Brainstorm on top. But that was part of my plan, for sure. Okay, so here, I think this is just a matter of... We're not going to want to fetch. So I think I just pass. And then I can Brainstorm. If I do it too overtly, they're going to know that I'm setting up a Terminus. Actually, you know what? I can't... I should have led with the Strand, just in case they waste me, but they're not going to waste me here. They play... Wait, they still have a land drop. So what I can do is I can set Terminus up for 2 turns from now with the Brainstorm, and then I just play out fetches, and then I can fetch the planes with the Terminus trigger on the stack. Miracle Tech. And they have another freaking bobble, so we're going to be taking a lot here. They're immediately checking my top, which is good because they're not going to know the Terminus is coming. Yes! Love it. Okay, so I am going to take 5 here, which is scary. But they are tapped out. They could have double days. I don't have the luxury of waiting. Okay, this is phenomenal. So I'll put back some of these lands. I don't need this many lands. And I put the Terminus on top. Now we go to my turn. They draw for this. Now I draw, revealing Terminus. Yes, I'd like to reveal it. And yes, I would like to use it. And now I'm ready to fight over it. This is a force of negation. I will let these triggers resolve. Okay, now I'm going to force, pitching my ponder. All right. Feels good. They still have this thing, of course. The safe thing to do is just plow it when they get the creature out so I can control the amount of damage I'm taking. Even if they had a daze and they daze my Beanstalk, it'd be bad. I don't want to risk that. I'll play this out. I can fetch a basic plains if I need to, but I'd like to get to where I can put this back on top. Ponder. So I am going to plow the individual things as they come out. I just need to keep my life total flush. So one way of thinking of this is we kind of got like a 1.5 for 1 with that. Okay, this bauble triggers. That's fine. So I'm going to let them decide what they want to do with the bauble first. They're opting to bauble me before, so they're going to see a land, and then I'll fetch, and I'll just get a Tundra. I'll just go ahead and get that Tundra. It sucks to have to use the Tundra just like on a token, but like I value my life total. They could absolutely like price of progress me or something later. In fact, that's the last. Well, I will have to get a Mystic Sanctuary to put Terminus back on top. Holy guacamole, that's good. So let's go ahead and play a land out. And we're just going to hope they don't flame us out here. Carpet. They forced that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and Beanstalk, and I'm just going to hope they don't have price of progress. Because, yeah, I want to get in. I might be able to find a force blue card by then. So we get our card. Draw trigger. Leyline Binding will be great next turn. I can take this off the table, but I am going to take a crack here. They're going to get their second trigger here. Oh, man. We're going to die to this thing? That sucks. Yeah, so they can hit us for at least 2, and we'll be very low in life. And I'll have to bind the creature probably. Okay, they're not casting anything pre-combat, so this might be counter magic that they drew. Oh, man, this is a rough match. If I can get a giant Merc, I can always plow it and gain life that way. That's not what I wanted to see. I could put a force on top. I could put a plow on top. I think that's probably better. I'm just going to go like this. I don't know. Let's see. Plow on top does solve the problem of them hitting me next turn. Let's just see. I want to take do I want to take an organic draw? I mean, force is definitely the card I'd like, but I won't be able to use it this turn cycle. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. White, green, blue. I'm just going to see what I get here. Oh, you know what? I could put a brainstorm on top, and that lets me clear. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. They're probably sitting there with price for progress like, yeah, by all means, play all these cards out. Yeah, I don't feel like I have a choice. Your deck does not give me room to breathe. It basically asks questions every single turn. Okay, so we're going to clear. If we clear this, this is just a 1/1 with prowess. And we don't have to worry about the second thing. They would need to cantrip several times. I am going to go after the cutter itself. Do I want to brainstorm now? I don't think so. I'll take another draw. It's there for an emergency, but like, hopefully I'm only taking one. If they have a bolt, we're just dead. There's a high chance of that. Okay, Delver's good. Unfortunately, I've already used my Mystic Sanctuary, so I'm not going to be able to get Terminus. I'm going to go ahead and brainstorm in the end step, though. And the reason is I might be able to set up Terminus for next turn, which would be quite good. And worst case scenario, I can still shuffle away 1 card. 3. Magic life total that Delver wants to get you to. All right, let's brainstorm here. They have Pyro? They do. Or wait, is this just Bolt? It's got to be Pyro, the way it's taking so long for them to resolve it. It's kind of annoying to resolve it in MTGO. Yeah, that's fine. So this sucks. All right. See what we can draw here. We're going to need to draw something really exceptional like another Leyland Binding. Ponder's good. These cards are shuffled. Merc! This probably doesn't save us, unfortunately. But it does draw us a card. Let's try it. Blue. Blue. I'll leave a white up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just get a full size in case they make their own Merc later. So I can stand tall in front of that. Oh, I punished. Totally punished. Well, I am going to go ahead and deploy the second Merc. That was that was a super awkward draw. I'll get the Underground Sea here. Just do I want to get that? It doesn't hurt to have more white sources. I'll just grab a scrub. And we'll just go blue. Blue. I might as well just make use of the mana here. Well, I'm going to draw a card. I could draw a Plow. Yeah, I could draw a Plow. Tapping mana back and forth. My opponent's probably rolling their eyes. Like, man, how bad can you be at Magic? All right, let's see. Yeah, and I am going to clear my entire graveyard here. But I get to draw a card. There's a chance it's a decent card here. Even if it's a Terminus, I can cast it next turn. Okay, that's great. Now I've got double blockers. So I'm still extremely vulnerable to Bolt. Reveal the Bolt is going to kill me. They do not reveal. Is Pyro? DRC, okay. They don't have good attacks, and they're not going to have good attacks after I stick my Riddler. I'll draw a bunch of cards next turn. I'm not going to give them good attacks. I'm going to go extremely wide. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Yeah, I just want to plow this. Then I get an extra card off Riddler. There's your 3 life. Gosh. Yeah, let's do this. Well, I can't do anything. Another Plow. What have I ever done to deserve this? 2 cards. Yes, I don't want to fetch. I just don't want to get any lower in case I need to force later. I'm going to get maybe greedy here and then start attacking them. They could clear one of my dudes and they could attack me for lethal. I understand that that is a risk. Actually, you know what? I am going to play this out and then I can fetch and Plow in a total pinch. Because this will be a 2-2 and this will potentially be a 3-2. Yeah. I'm probably just going to die. But, I can just Plow this and survive. If they have, like, Price of Progress now. Wait, can I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll take 12. I don't think I can. Wow, 3-0. Beating Delver. Very skilled Delver pilot. Let's go to round 4. Round 4, we're up against an unknown opponent. We got the 3-0 so far. I'm feeling great. We're on the play, which is nice too. I'm going to lead. This is a fine hand. Doesn't have a green source, but we can get one with Lorien. I'm going to lead with Thoughtseize. If they're a combo deck, like leading with Thoughtseize is the best thing you can do. It's even better than forcing usually. Like having force available. Because you know what to do. With force, you don't really know what's coming. You just see what's in front of you. But with Thoughtseize, you get the knowledge. Okay, so Affinity. The scariest card in this hand is actually Emery. They don't actually have a way to deploy. If I take the Sink, they can't really do anything. But they could draw a land. I'm seriously considering just taking the Sink. They can still play out the Emery. Emery's the scariest thing. Let's see. How big would the Patchwork Automaton get? So they can do Chalice, which is annoying, but it's not death. Yeah, they may play it out as a 0 just to no, they would be crazy to play it out as a 0. So what they can do with Emery is they can play the Petal, play the Bauble, and then tap the Petal to play Emery. Then they've got an Emery. But I can clear Emery. I think I am going to take the Sink into Stupor just to slow the roll a little bit. They could just draw a land. That's probably the most likely thing they draw. But if they don't, then this stifles them more than just taking Emery. Emery is their engine, but I'm worried the Patchwork Automaton will be so big by the time I can address it that I won't be able to stop it. Yeah, this is a scary matchup. This is definitely a 3x Terminus matchup. I put Terminus in my sideboard precisely for this matchup. Best draw on the deck is just a plow for Emery. Oh, they did draw the freaking Ancient Tomb. Well, that's unfortunate. So they can do everything now. Patches. Bobble. They can show Emery at the end of all this. It's a disaster. They had an insane hand. And Ancient Tomb, of course, the best card in Legacy. Bearing its ugly head here. I'll play it myself sometimes. But yeah, it's not going to be a pretty game one. Let's put it that way. They reveal Pithing Needle and Lotus Petal. But they already have the Bobble, so they already have the card draw engine. And it will grow the Patchwork Automaton. This is a very scary time to be alive. So, options. One, we could ponder. We find a plow. We just take this out. I like that better than Lorien. They're bobbling us now. The card they see at random is an Underground Sea. There we go. So, I am going to plow this now. I don't want the Thoughtseize ever, so I'll just cycle that away. I'll draw the ponder next turn. All right. Yeah, and you just have to take her out. She is too much of a value engine here. And this way we got in underneath their Chalice as well. Unfortunately, Chalice is going to stop my ponder, but that's not too big of a deal. I'll probably force it at some point. So they get their card for Bobble. Seat. Okay, so taking that Sink of the Super is looking increasingly incorrect. But we didn't know that they were going to draw 2 lands in a row. They did get an extra card from the Bobble, so it's not like they exactly drew 2 cards. Okay. So they opted not to play the Spell Bomb, but I guess it's turned off by their Chalice. It's just good deck building, right? Yeah, why didn't they play the Chalice first? But I don't want to be too harsh on them. Okay. Now we draw the Ponder, which we can't use. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cycle this. We'll get a Trop. Now we have full domain. We're going to Beans. And we'll pass and we'll take some more damage, unfortunately. But not that much more. Them not playing that Spell Bomb may be a decisive thing. Okay, Dress Down's very good. Because we can remove the ward and, of course, we can stop the constructs. We can remove ward on Blastoise if they go Blastoise. Their hand is not very good. And this is when you cast. So even if they rip another seed, it's not going to help them with this. They do have a lot of 1-drops in there. They've got 3 1-drops. That's so annoying. Yeah, I'm going to have to clear that. I can actually end step this and then they won't be able to use her for a turn cycle. I'll end step my Dress Down. It feels bad. Okay, that just gets countered, but it does trigger. So we're taking 4 here. We need to draw... Leyline Binding is the best draw in our deck, I think. Beanstalk's not terrible. Let's try it. I'll do like this. Green, blue. Then if I draw a Merc, I can still Merc. I actually don't have the ability to Merc. Let's do this. I mean, it would suck if these Beanstalks just never did anything, but come on, give me the Leyline Binding. Riddler draws us 4 cards. So the options are Riddler now. And there's no favorable interaction between Dress Down and Riddler, I don't think. If you're thinking that. It's not like you can cheat a Riddler into play with Warp with the Dress Down out. I don't think that works. So I just go to Instep. They attack me for 5. And then next turn I play Riddler, and Riddler's a pretty good blocker. I think that's actually the line. So I'm going to set a stop in my Instep. This way they can't use her ability to play even more stuff from their graveyard. And then next turn I don't Warp Riddler. I actually play him out. So he is immediately a blocker. Hopefully we find a Force or something like that. Okay, that's just unfortunate. But we have an untapped land that we can play. Okay, this is fine. So I do think they're going to attack for 5 here, unfortunately. But this is, had they held this, they could have definitely got additional power on it next turn. But now it might be held back by the Riddler. Okay, so they're going to see what we're going to draw. We're going to draw a lot of cards, but we're not going to draw interaction that we can use immediately because I'm spending all this mana on this. But it is a big blocker, and that's important. Murktide would also be fine if we drew that. Leyline Binding, if I draw that, that'll probably change my plans. I'm just going to go for the Riddler. We're almost certainly dead here. This deck that we're up against applies so much pressure so quickly. They may even have a force for it at this point. Lorien Revealed, Plow. I mean, these are all good cards, but they're not going to do anything in the face of this Chalice. Okay, so nothing special here. They're going to need to get, like, I have to block this. This is a force block. So what they could do is they could, like, replay a Mox or something like that, and then that triggers, and it's 5/5, and they may have another card from hand, but I have to throw this in front of it. Because Emery can tap to activate. I don't think they have a way to clear unless they draw another Sink into Stupor, which they could. That's fine. So they're going to play that out. That'll make it a 5/5. All right. Do you have another artifact in hand? You've got 3 cards in your hand. You most likely do have an artifact you can play. And so Riddler's definitely going to die here. Leyline Binding on this is actually, so it's a 6/6. Yeah. So Leyline Binding on this actually would free up Plow, and then I could Plow around Ward. We'll see what I draw here. Riddler did his job quite well. I mean, a giant Murktide. Let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, it's still not going to be big enough to block it, unfortunately. And they can fire these off and get even more. All right. So Brainstorm doesn't work. Actually, none of these cards work. Yeah, I'm just dead, unfortunately. The reason is, like, these cards get countered. Plow gets countered. Everything in my hand gets countered. I can Lorien Revealed, but there's no situation in which I would have enough mana to do anything. Yeah, good game. Okay, so sideboard. Again, I think this is a Prismatic Ending and both Terminuses matchup. Cards that come out are going to be Thoughtseize against this aggro deck. It's also a 1-drop that gets countered. I don't think we make any other changes. I don't even know if this is on my list of cards. Let's see. I'll add it. A lot of people point out, like, that you could consign certain stuff, especially on the play. They're not wrong. It's just, is that really what you want to be doing? Consigning like a 0-drop. Most of the big spells are colored. You can consign a trigger, like the ward trigger. Again, I'm just not convinced. It just doesn't, like, in my opinion, if you're putting a sideboard card in your deck, it should be like a slam dunk. Like, this is a slam dunk against Eldrazi. This is a slam dunk against 12 Post, Carnforge. I'm not convinced it's really that great. Like, what would we be cutting? We'd be cutting some sort of removal spell probably, or I could cut my forces, but believe me, you don't want to go shields down really ever. With Fire Design, they talked about this on the Eternal Weekend or Eternal Glory podcast. Like, now with all the Fire Design, you probably should almost never be boarding out your forces. I mean, like, even against Blue Red Delver, the classic, like, board out your forces matchup, you probably still want it because of Quarry Steelcutter. Dress Down's insane in this matchup. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep it like this. I mean, I could trim a land, actually. Okay, so hear me out. I will trim a land. I'll trim my plains. They're not going to go after our lands. And I'll bring in a consign. I think that's fine. Let's do it. This is a good hand. We can start, ponder, try to find a force. We have Leyline Binding. I mean, it's tough. Because, like, obviously there are, like, a lot of good removal spells that I could draw here. I don't think I'm going to put this back. I think I'll keep this and I'll just hope to fight. I'll lead with the Tropical Island. I may never even use the island depending on what I draw, but I can ponder and try to find a force. They're mulling to 6. The main trap, or the main danger is, okay, we've got 18 lands in our deck and 4 Lorien Revealeds, but, like, that is a decent fail rate in terms of mulliganing. So I almost always keep a hand that has lands and spells with this deck. Even in a matchup as crazy as this one, where it's, like, basically determined by the first turn and whether you're able to interact. These are lands. Flooded Strand goes and turns on Leyline Binding. I think that might be good enough. I don't want the Underground Sea. We have Riddler. Depending on what they do, we might be able to brainstorm, but we can definitely remove a Chalice from play, and then we can do something else the subsequent turn. I think this is good enough. I don't think there's anything they can do to screw with our hand, but I'll just take this just in case. Oh, they are going to see a Leyline Binding on top if they bobble us. But that shouldn't be too big of a surprise. I mean, played out Beanstalk last game. So most 4-color Beanstalk piles are going to be playing Leyline Binding. Okay, there's the pedal. Please go all in on like a chalice. I don't want to see a ward creature. Okay, that's fine. So right now, they don't have any sort of counter magic up. So a lot of people might be like, you should wait. But I'm actually going to go now. They don't have counter magic other than force up. They can't Metallic Rebuke. So let's go get our Scrubland. And I'm just going to remove this. This does tell them, like, if you've got another chalice, just cast it again. But it also reduces their artifact count, and it, like, getting Metallic Rebuked on that would feel really bad. Okay, that is maybe their main plan, but, like, why wouldn't they have led with it last turn? They may have just drawn this. Okay. So, important thing to note, they haven't come out swinging with some crazy sequence. I do want to brainstorm and get some of these brainstorms out of my hand. There's the Terminus. There's the Dress Down. So, options. One, we don't have a shuffle. We're going to redraw these. I want to put Terminus on the bottom, and then I can draw Merc, and I could potentially like put this back on top of my deck again. Like I can move it around with all these brainstorms. I think I just Riddler here to draw a card deeper. Yeah, I'm going to do that. And then I'll draw Terminus next turn, and I can decide whether I want to use it. But I probably won't. Okay, so Terminus is on my top. They're going to see that if they bobble me. There's not a lot to be done about that. But again, I can move it around with Brainstorm. I think most likely they're just going to chill and pump out tokens. But if they do play like if they make the mistake of going in on a Blastoise right here, it'll be very well rewarded by my play. The other thing is they can stop the Terminus. Oh, interesting. Why do that? I think they may be going in on Blastoise. Whoa, they're doing a huge Blastoise. And this means that they're not going to have a Force Blue card. What is this? Yeah. Oh, yeah. This feels so good. Feels so good knowing Blastoise is about to die. He has to die. He cannot survive. You're too good for this world, Blastoise. I mean, look at this turtle. This is like the friendliest looking turtle. Somebody took the friendliest looking turtle and retrofitted him with like a giant, like, you know, cannon thing from Star Wars, the bad episode, the bad movie. Though, okay, which bad movie? Okay, so let's go ahead and reveal it, and always yield to Terminus. Play it from hand. White mana. Bye bye Blastoise. Okay, now we are not quite to Murktide territory. I can brainstorm and try to find land though. I like that. Okay, we did find land. We can even shuffle. We have Murktide coming. So I play this land out. Or I could just Lorien and immediately put Terminus back on top of my deck. That doesn't make any sense. I want to use this later. But if I probably want to Murk and kill them quickly. But do I even need to? I don't think I do. I think I'm like in an extremely favorable position right now. So I could put back the Leyline. Well, I don't want to put back Leyline Binding. It's so useful. And yeah, I guess it's just we put back Brainstorm. And I guess they can see the Merc on top of my deck. I'm just going to play this out. I'll just chill and see what they do here. Like I'll definitely Merc a Construct if they make one, which they're almost certainly going to make one. But I want to wait until they search because they might go get the Lava Spur Boots, and then I can take it out. And they've kind of used their search. Okay, so this comes in. You can search. It's a 4/4. It's pretty terrifying. Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do both of those. Like if they'd been patient, can you imagine how terrifying that would be? But they weren't patient. And to their credit, the game gets worse the longer it goes. Please hit this. Oh my goodness, if you have a Chalice on 0, that'll be great. Okay, I don't think this is going to work out the way you think it is. Yeah, you have a Chalice on 0. Now you can't play any 0 drops for the rest of the game. I'm just going to clear this now. It doesn't really matter because it won't affect Murktide. He still enters with the counters regardless whether this is in. Because he enters with, it's not like a triggered ability. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. It will be embarrassing if I have a 3/3 Merc after exiling my entire graveyard. Do I even want to do that? I mean, they're in a very weakened state. I think it's fine to just kill them. But if I can brainstorm and then Lorien revealed, I think that's better. There's another terminus. Don't need that. Riddler's nice. Yeah, I think I just Lorien revealed for a land and then I just Merc. Okay, so we'll just get a Tundra here. Can't have too much white mana. Play it out. I'm not going to put anything on top. I'll just go blue, Murktide, and then we'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. I will leave the terminus in the yard. 5. Okay. What? Oh no, it does work. I could have sworn that I would get the counters. I'm sorry, my excellent friends. I haven't played, like, it's rare that you would play these two cards in the same deck. So I haven't actually encountered this interaction before, but don't I look like a horse of patoot? The good news is it's probably not going to matter. We're so far ahead. Because next turn we just start jamming Riddlers. They said, ho ho. Indeed. Hoisted by my own petard. I'm glad that MTGO didn't make an effort to censor petard. It censors the word damn. And there's a magic card called damn. I wonder if MTGO, if you cast it, if it's just asterisks. Okay, patchwork. Patch Adams. That's fine. Just a ho-ho. They didn't wish me luck or anything. They're just like, ho-ho, you punted. I love it. I'm sorry. It's just so funny to me. Yeah, I'll just play this dude out. Blue. Actually, I'll keep the Tundra open just in case I find something good here. Yeah, Riddler's coming out. I've got Force up. They've chaliced themselves. I think that's fine. Well, I mean, I get a guaranteed card, but I have to pitch another Riddler, and I can warp the Riddler. I'm not going to do it. I can warp the Riddler and get a card, and then I can, yeah, I'll just chill. Like, there's no reason to like give them any life total. I'll kill them later. It will be a slow, miserable death for them. All right, Chalice is doing some work. Aren't you glad you removed my Leyline Binding? All right. And I can just remove this thing at my leisure. But if I get them to hurl a bunch of things into it first. Yeah, I mean, I can just remove it now. Let's go ahead and just warp my Riddler dude first and see what we find. I do need a blue card just in case. Do I? Not really. Yeah, I can just plow here and pay. Let's go boom. Boom. Yeah, they scooped. I mean, I was going to totally win that game. It's just a question of how long it was going to take. Okay, so here, no changes. We are on the draw, though, so it does get worse for us. But now I understand how Dress Down and Murktide, two cards that have been in the meta for like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years at this point. I understand how they interact now. Are they from the same set? They are from the same set. Okay. Because I know that like, for example, Torpor Orb doesn't negatively impact Murktide. So I didn't think that Dress Down would be negatively impacted, but it makes sense that Dress Down shuts off Painter. So why wouldn't it also shut off Murktide? Dress Down shuts off the entering ability. It doesn't shut off the persistent ability because the crazy layer system. That if you want an explanation of that, reach out to your local judge. I'm sure they'll be happy to explain it in pedantic detail. Shout out to all the judges out there. All right, let's keep this as is. Force negation is an option here. Is it better than consign, considering it can stop a chalice? I mean, consign can stop a chalice, but not on the draw. I think I'm going to bring that in. Chalice is a pain. But it's really the only thing that we care to stop that's not creature. Consign can stop the ward trigger, which may save our bacon. I think I'm actually going to keep the consign in and just be a little risky here because I've lost too many times to giant, Blastoise. This is a mulligan, unfortunately. Don't even look at it. Don't even look at it. Just wait for them to decide. Like I actively have to avert my gaze thinking about all the disgusting things this hand would have done if it had some land in it, but it doesn't. That's why it looks juicy. Of course, your hand's going to be all gas when it's no lands. Mulligan, come on. Don't screw me, deck. Oh, deck, now that I'm 3-0, this is where you're going to screw me, huh? Okay. It's mulligan again. That's pretty abysmal. And it's like an off-color land, basically. At least if it were a Tundra, that would be okay. What we're keeping, unfortunately, there's a very decent chance that they just like Chalice and that's GG, basically. I'll put the Leyline Bindings are very far away. Yeah, I am feeling super vulnerable here. This sucks. Our opponent kept 7. We're about to get destroyed. I don't think there's a problem with my deck building, but I did cut a land, I think. Maybe I should have brought the land back in. No, on the draw, that doesn't make sense. You want the land on the play. Maybe I just skated by and got lucky. All the other games that I shaved a land. Okay, so they have a lot of mana. These constructs are going to be gargantuan. But that is all they're doing, thankfully. All right. I'm going to play this land, and I'm going to pass. I will brainstorm during their turn so they don't get free, Sink into Stupor. They're going to take a look at my randomly revealed Prismatic Ending, which will deal with one of their constructs if I ever find a land. I am going to have to Desperation Instep Brainstorm here. Or if they put a Chalice out, I'll just immediately Brainstorm. Losing to double mulligan and somebody that says ho ho when you punt, but doesn't wish you good luck. Definitely definitely a comedic way to run out this league. Oh my goodness. What a joke, deck. Why are you doing this to me? Okay, well, I am going to Brainstorm again during my turn and try to get one card deeper. And if we can do that, we might be able to find a land. They have a slow start, but these constructs are going to be coming really hard and really heavy down the line. Come on, deck. Don't screw me. Okay, this is not bad. So what I'm going to do, this is only freaking green mana. What the heck? So I'll just bin a Terminus so I can replay it later. It doesn't serve us any use. Like, we've already burned both of our Brainstorms. So I'll draw the Beanstalk, and I'll just bin this Terminus off of Hedge Maze. Well, at least we found our land. It's just a tragedy that we're going to probably be like near 0 life by the time we can do anything. So I can force something, but like they don't even need to cast a spell. They can just kill us with the material they're going to have. These are going to be like 7/7s. It's insane. Absolutely insane. So we're going to take like 14 this turn. If they have the Lava Spur Boots, which I can't interact with, unfortunately. We'll take 13. And then I'm drawing... What am I drawing? I'm drawing Beanstalk, which I won't even have the luxury of casting because I'll desperately be digging for a Dress Down and a land, which I can't find both. So I'm screwed. Yeah, and this is like the bull case for this deck. Like this deck can just go crazy. Hopefully they crack this pedal to equip. Yeah, they are going full aggro. So I said hopefully because this... What? I mean, they have 4 cards still in their hand. They haven't even played a land this turn. I think I have to force this. Pretty obnoxious. Murktide could stand up next turn. There's no way that, like... Because I know what I'm drawing and it's not what I need. I have to pitch the Riddler, sadly. Because Murktide could be a wall. I don't think he's going to be a good enough wall. Now they don't have the mana to play the Lava Spur Boots, except they haven't made a land drop yet, so they probably do. Please, just whiff on land for a turn. No! And it grows it even further. And they have this, like... Okay, are we just dead? Like, how much are we taking here? This is crazy, by the way. They also have a pedal. Okay, so we're taking... Is this lethal? 8+7. We're going to have 2 life. This is just disgusting what they're doing to us. Oh, we have 4 life. I'm bad at counting. Okay. So we took 15 there from these. All right. So even if we could Merc, it wouldn't be enough. Like we could Island Ponder, but we're going to take at least 7. Yeah. I genuinely don't know what this Ponder could find, but it has to find something extraordinary. It can't get 2 cards. Good game. I feel like I was robbed, frankly. I feel like that like them having this incredible of a start that I couldn't interact with, I feel tilted. I think if we play this match several times, I think we probably have like a 55% win rate, even a 60% win rate. And that's even if our opponent wasn't punting by like, removing our ley line and permanently blocking all their zeros and stuff, just to get like an extra trigger on their patches. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. This is just like, again, I don't want to sound like a little baby and whine about variants, but like those were some incredibly unfortunate hands. Maybe shaving even one land. This was just the universe telling us we're getting greedy. But, you know, that consign wouldn't have done a damn thing in that match. Right? I mean, technically, if we had the consign, we could have consigned the create trigger, and I probably would have actually done that. And that would have like kept us alive for a little while. But yeah, those were some brutal variants. 2 no-landers into a 1-lander when your deck's entire raison d'etre is to play lands and you're playing 23 lands, which technically we're playing 22 if you count the Lorians. So yeah, brutal. We're going to try to rally and get the 4-1. Final round, we're on the play. Our opponent plays Beanstalk and Delver, which are 2 very different matchups, but our hand is actually decent against both of those. I'll snap keep this. I'll just see whether they're on Delver, and if they're on Delver, I could Plains into Lorien Cycle and just get the mana flowing. Delver cannot deal with basics. It like really wrecks their plan. I love Lorien Revealed. I love just end-step cycling it. It feels so powerful when you do that, and you're able to like just go get a land after having the benefit of all the information. They're on Beans. I feel pretty confident about that. I don't think I need to. I'll just get the Surveil. They're probably not on days if they're on Beans. Oh, Stifle. Okay. Well, they're going to be tapped out. I can just island. So, okay. Why are you playing Stifle in your Beans deck? They may be on Bug Beans. I'm not going to force this because they could daze it. What I'll do here is I'm just going to go get a Plains and then I'll get an island. And then we'll play from there. But they're not going to be able to stifle this. And I'll just do this during my turn just to play around the possibility of them having more interaction here. But they did get a 1-for-1. Now that I know they're on Stifle, the value of their Stifle goes down dramatically if I play correctly. If I over-index on Stifle, it doesn't. But I'm going to presume that they're playing... yeah, I'm just going to chill with... Like, I'll presume they're on a daze strategy if they're playing Stifle. Like, I feel like it's a waste to play Stifle but to not also play Daze and Wasteland. I feel like Stifle is how you kind of amp the tempo up even more. So I could warp here, but like there's no reason to. I can just amass additional lands and do it later. And I can also hold up Force with Daze Protection. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do this. And if you'd like, you can stifle this. They don't. So Trop is definitely what I'm looking at for here. Let's do that. And now we can play Riddler around Daze, which is nice. We're actually like very close to just marking, but I'd like to force before I mark just so I have another card in the graveyard. I'll pretend I have Plow Up. There's a chance that they go for like Felia here. Felia is... I've played a lot of Felia. I'm not convinced she's great, but a lot of people are playing her. They force here. It's okay. Oh, they are on Bug Beans. Bowmasters? No thanks. I don't like that card. I think the card that I pitch here is one of my backup Riddlers. Now that I know that they're on Beans, it makes Riddler less good. Merc can still tank them, especially like they're not playing white most likely, so they probably can't deal with a Merc. Okay, they Spell Pierce. That's pretty strong. I can't interact with this. So this is going to come in first, ping me, and then it's going to be able to ping me again. But this is all stuff that I can clear if I'm careful and patient. I'm looking for land here. Ponder, not what I'm looking for. Okay, Merc will come out next turn, hopefully. I can always Leyline Bind, but if they waste this, then I can't Leyline Bind anymore. I think it's fine to just go for Merc first because he's a wall. Their removal is, they probably have Murder's Cut. That's unfortunate that they had that first. I do think we're favored in this matchup, but it's not like a clear-cut thing. It's like Bowmasters is simply the best card in Legacy against Beanstalk, and they get it and we don't. I mean, we could technically be playing it, but I've chosen to play Thoughtseize instead, which I'm almost certainly not going to be casting considering how much pressure I'm already under, and that's what I draw. Okay, so I think we just stand up a big Merc here. around days and hope they don't have the cut. The other option, of course, is to Leyland bind, clear this, and then if they force to get a cantrip. They haven't cast force yet. We were on the play too. Like, how are we losing this so badly? I think that stifle, like, I didn't want to force it, but it was pretty important. So if I Merc, that might buy us several turns, but it might just get forced. I'm going to try it. I'll make it full size, or as big as I can. I don't care about my graveyard here. Do you have the force? They have the force. Brutal. Okay, I think our odds of winning this game are sub 10% now, but I'm going to stick with it. This deck is a miracle worker, literally. We will be putting miracles in, I think, to deal with this. We'll definitely put Prismatic Ending. I don't actually have a Beanstalk. There's no solid Beanstalk list, so it's not on my strategy sideboard guide. Yeah, they're just getting tons of value here. They can just line up another force. We'll take another 3 damage, and everything in our hand basically does damage to us. It's quite possible that they find a Wasteland here. They could just put Force back on top. Yeah, that's pretty brutal. Now if they have anything that can draw a card, yep, that draws it. I think we've seen enough. We're not going to fight through all this. Let's go to the... Yeah, that was brutal. Okay, so I actually think Thoughtseize is really good here. I want to keep it in. I do want to bring in Prismatic Ending. Carpet definitely comes in if they're freaking stifling us. What do we cut out? We could cut out Dress Down. I actually like Dress Down against Bowmasters because it gives us like a turn's reprieve. But like, come on, it's not that great that it warrants necessarily playing. I don't think Terminus comes in. It's maybe I cut a couple like one Thoughtseize. On the play, I feel like Thoughtseize is going to be really good though, because if we can snag a Beans, it's so strong. I don't really want to cut any lands at all, considering they're almost certainly like, yeah. So the question is, what do I cut for Carpet? I think the logical answer is Thoughtseize. I wish there were a better way. But I do want Prismatic Ending because it deals with both Beans and it deals with Bowmaster. Yeah, let's do it. And they are almost certainly going to have Carpet of Flowers in their deck too. This is a good hand. All right, I'm just going to come out with... Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I think I just fetch Surveil immediately. Just so I can get some value out this land. Because, I mean, I'm not going to be doing anything this turn. I think it's very demure. Like I'm just playing around Stifle. That would be annoying if they stifle me here. I'm going to keep this on top. Land is life. We're going to keep the land slowing. Love for them to waste. Okay, they're just passing. All right, so options. One, I could just Rishon on port them for a couple turns with this Flooded Strand. That could backfire. If they put Bowmaster out, I have Days Protected Brainstorm. This can go get the... this can go get Scrubland, and then we have Domain for Leyline Binding, which I could cast the turn after I cast... Okay, they're hedging. I'm having fun, though. I like this deck a lot, even though we're getting punished in the last 2 rounds. Maybe it's not that hard, but like that Bowmaster did feel pretty brutal. So I think I just wait here. I mean, very decent chance they have Stifle. It might just be like 1 or 2 of, like a Pokemoki special. Pokemoki is a brewer whom I've had on the channel several times. Or just once, but like I talk about him constantly. He's like my hero. Okay, so I think this is just... We fetch first to see what they do, because what I don't want is them to be able to blow me out. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do this. Should I play a land first? I think I do. Yeah, and now I'm going to fetch. What am I worried about? Like if they stifle this, I won't go for the Beans. Okay. I'm going to get the Scrub. I do feel pretty vulnerable. They have Spell Pierce in their deck too, which is pretty strong. This is Bowmasters, Spell Pierce. Okay, yeah, they had it. They may not be playing Tamiyo. I mean, I don't know how they fit everything in there. What the heck are you... Like, I definitely want to see their list. Because you have to make trade-offs when you're playing cards like Spell Pierce and Stifle and stuff like that. You're not playing... You're trying to like keep the game short. Which, I mean, the whole point of being... What? You've got to be freaking kidding me. And now they can bowmaster me if they have it. This is devastating. Like, okay. Well, buy beans. I wish I could do something about this. Yeah. Thank goodness. We had the brainstorm up and they didn't have a bowmaster. That would have been devastating. So now we're going to have to win through sheer card, like raw card advantage. I just realized, like when I said raw card advantage, it sounded like rock hard advantage. Okay, brainstorm. They're moving some stuff around. Now, surgical attraction technically was like a 0 for 1 or a 1 for 0. Okay, waste me, please. They know I have tons of stuff. And of course, they've got their Beanstalk. Oh, man, this is so terrible. I'm going to have to leyline mine it and hope that they don't have an answer. I can leyline mine twice. There's no point in fetching here. I'll just play this out and we're going to go ahead and try to bind this right now. And if they have the force, unfortunately, they get a free card. Yes, you get a free card. But before you draw that, I'm going to attempt to bind again. And if you have a daze, I'm going to completely flip my table over. They have a second freaking force. Incredible. Incredible. So they get 2 Beanstalk triggers and they keep their beans in the table. Just absolutely disgusting. I mean, it's hard for me to hate on Bug Beans because I love Bug Beans as a deck. It's impressive what they're doing over there. We're dead. We are freaking dead. Okay, so what I will do here is I'm going to play my land and I'm going to Merc, and then I'm going to Riddler, hopefully draw enough cards that we can try to dig out of this. Is this Beanstalk number 3, or is this just the biggest Merc in the world? It can be bigger than mine. Yep, of course. Like everything lined up perfectly. My goodness, they had just an insane sequence. Yeah, and Surgical, you never bring it in. My opponent's getting rewarded for bad play. You shouldn't bring in Surgical in this matchup, in my humble opinion. I know people will fight me on that, but people don't understand that Surgical sucks. Okay, so it's good exactly against graveyard decks. So here, first, let's go ahead and play the first card that's going to get forced. Murktide. Do we want to do anything different? Let's think about this. So I can put an extra card in the graveyard. It doesn't really matter. I might find like a plow and then I could cleanly plow this. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and... I haven't made a land drop either yet. No, I did play a land. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Merc first. Huh. Is there any green card? Oh, yeah, I could draw a carpet. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to get a Tundra here. No, I should get an Underground Sea. Just in case they try to strip my domain. Not that I've got 2 of these left. Okay, so we're going to go blue, blue. Huh. There's not really a way that I can... Yeah, I'll just do it like this. Blue, blue. Mark. I'll take the Leyline Bindings out just in case my opponent's also playing Bargoyf. Blue, blue. Okay, that's in. Now, the card that I actually wanted to resolve. It's in. Okay, 2 cards. There's the carpet, but unfortunately we did have to tap all our mana. Next turn, we can do some big stuff. Assuming they don't draw a force. But we're going to take 7 here. At least. If they have another Merc, it could be more. But I'm very happy that they waste me here because that takes them further from Lorien Revealed, assuming that's in their deck. I will happily force anything they do here just because when Riddler comes in, I'm going to have a lot more cards. They've already used 2 of their forces. That's fine. Okay, they didn't play a second Wasteland. Taking me off the green entirely would be pretty devastating. Okay, this is Bargoyf. Precisely what I was worried about when I exiled some of my cards. Let's see if this works. They've used... Okay, what is this? Another Spell Pierce? They've only used 2 forces. Oh, yeah. Okay. So you have a cantrip too. All right, so even though we're going to get our dude back, this does grow that. They can just brainstorm here. Oh, Spell Pierce. Okay, that works too. Okay. So you go to Bargoyf. It's a small. It's a small. And now I'll take 8 freaking damage in the air. I'm dead on board, basically. But my carpet is going to do some work here. I need to find basically like plow off this. Okay, so I'm going to start with this. The force is still on the top of their deck. Let's go to post-combat. Yes, I would like to use it always. Yield to this. And yes, let's add some blue. That is a lot of blue. Let's just play this off of black. No, that's blue too. And then I'm like totally tapped out of black. I guess but I want to have both. I guess I can just fetch. Yeah, I'll do this. We'll draw 2 cards. All right, this is not good enough. We're dead. We have to find a plow. I can fetch. That minimizes. Because I'm happy to trading with this. I just don't want to die to this. Oh, wait, I can cast Ponder. So I play this out and then I Ponder and I get 2 cards. Yeah, let's do that. I think this is any order shuffle. Yeah, Thoughtsei's not particularly strong here. Come on. Oh, it's so close to being good, but it's not good. We're dead. So I have to block here. I have to double block. Like I have to block both of these to survive. But I've got a good hand if I do survive. Like I can. They're gonna have the force though. Yeah, they're gonna have the force. All right, we'll just lose everything. Oh my goodness. The good news is Fatal Push doesn't do a damn thing against our deck. This is a basic island, a very sweet looking one. All right. They are just attacking with this. No, they're attacking with both. Okay. Well, I am going to block both because I'm not winning a game. Huh. If I let this connect, though, it may not hit. Then I can just plow it. But they have the force. Yeah, I just want to get it off the table. I don't want to take damage. I know it sucks really bad. I'm not happy either. Don't worry. Like, all right. So here, this is plow. That is the card that I wanted. Let's go ahead and the plow is actually more important than the Lorien Revealed, but Lorien Revealed could yield more. I'm gonna Lorien Revealed, and then if they plow, they won't have they'll have hard cast force though. Gosh, they have hard cast force. Let's add some blue. Just going to cast it. This is going to get forced for sure. Okay, and with those triggers on the stack, let's clear this. We are extremely unfavored here. I can put Lorien Revealed back on top in the instep. But like they just basically like Lorien Revealed with their force of will. I should clear one of these. I should. And then next turn, I Lorien Revealed and hope that they don't have one of their many Bowmasters or something nasty that takes me out. Rainstorm. All right. It's worth noting that I have exactly 3 lands, so they could, if they play a Wasteland here, they could get me off of Lorien Revealed. And there's nothing I can do about it. Okay, thank goodness they didn't. They're fetching. This is another giant Merc that we'll have to deal with immediately. So the safe thing to do is just put the plow on top. But I feel like we'll be dead pretty quickly. Let's see how big this is. 6/6. It's not immediate death. Oh no. What is this? Oh, okay. That's not weird at all that you would have both of those. Oh my goodness. So now plow doesn't even save me. Well, one of these is going to be smaller. I think they probably drew that for turn. Okay, so options. They still have 3 freaking cards in hand, many of which could be days. I'll have so much mana, though. It doesn't matter. I do want to put the Lorien Reveal on top. All right, so we're going to take a calculated risk here that we're able to stop them. All right, we'll get 3 cards, and then we'll just see whether that includes 2 removal spells. And some blue. Okay, it resolves. Okay, so we can ley line bind this big one. I would like to find a Riddler. Okay, that's not bad at all. I will take both of these. It does mean that like I'm not doing anything, really. I'll take out the big one. I don't care about their life total. I'm actually tempted to just hit the Beanstalk here to mitigate its impact. It sucks to do that, but I feel like it's correct. They're not going to grow this anymore, and I have a plow on top of my deck. Yeah, Okay, and now they can't do anything. Like, this is just the most on my back foot I've felt in a Beanstalk matchup in a long time. But we did clear both of their beans. We're taking 3 here. They have 4 freaking cards in their hand. All the mana in the world. We're so dead. I don't know what they're waiting for. But they have used 3 of their 4. Let's see. 1 force, 2 force. No, they just used 2 of them, so they could still have a force up. All right. I'm just going to do this main phase, I guess. There's no tactical benefit to waiting. There's no... Yeah, like I can pretend that I have like a hardcast force or something. I don't know. This game's over. Except that it's not over for some reason. They probably have Bowmasters here. It's absolutely in their deck. I'm trying to remember what the last card in my deck was. I think it's actually a bad card that I want to shuffle away. So I'll play this out, and now my cards are on the table. Do you have the Bowmaster? You do. All right. It's difficult to imagine a world in which I can win from 1 life when they have 3 more Bowmasters in their deck. And maybe this was just misevaluating the threat. Maybe I should have used the Leyline Binding not on the Beanstalk because that wasn't killing me. But that is going to kill me should the game carry on. So I'll drop the 2. I can't even fetch to... I think the top card on my deck is just a bad card. I can't remember. I might have actually like cleared it. Do you just have the Bowmaster? You're just wasting. Okay, that's fine. Like Murktide could do it. No, Murktide doesn't do it. Yeah, and it was a bad card. Good games. My opponent played well, but like I can't help but feel like they had insane hands. And I won't say they fully played well because I do believe Surgical is a mistake, and they just got like, I don't know. Spell Pierce is a cool tech card. I don't want to trash him too much, but I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe I made some punts too. Hopefully people are calling out my punts in the site. Like if I missed anything, I just don't know how I was supposed to beat that. Maybe this is not a favorable matchup for white beans. I mean, it feels like it should be because we have the nice removal that takes care of the Murktides. Thoughtseize obviously not super strong when you're getting beaten down with giant Mercs, but it is good if you draw it early. I like this build a lot. I'm disappointed we couldn't get the 4-1. It wasn't even close to a 4-1. We just got completely destroyed in those final 2 rounds. I don't think... Did we win any games? Yeah, we did win a game against the Affinity deck. But that was more our deck defeating us than them defeating us because that was just like terrible mulligans. But this league started off great. I was having a blast, and it's cool to showcase the bug beans because few people play it right now, and it may secretly be good, but I'll just share my sentiment is Daze isn't very good right now, and I don't think Stifle's good either. I understand that somebody won like a challenge with like a Stifle on. It was like a blue-white tempo deck with like Stifles and Quantum Riddlers, but they're pulling in different directions. Quantum Riddler wants the game to go on long. We win the games that go long, and we potentially could have won that other game if they hadn't had double Beanstalk. The double Beanstalk was what kept them in that game. We absolutely would have won had they not been able to assemble double Beanstalk and stop our Beanstalk. But they did. So, if things were different, they wouldn't be the same, as Bosch and Roll likes to say. So, I like the Terminus a lot. It came up a lot. There were situations where we were awkwardly drawing it, but it was never super clunky. We were always able to get it out of our hand. I don't think we ever died with the Terminus in our hand, which is nice. Prismatic Ending. This came up a couple times. I mean, it feels like it's unnecessary when you already have 3 Terminuses. To also play like a very mana inefficient card, but it can kill Tamiyo, which, man, did we run into any Tamiyo this league? Is everybody else as tired of Tamiyo as I am and they stopped playing it? That Bug Beans list didn't seem to be playing Tamiyo. We didn't see it. It could be people are just down to like 1 Tamiyo or something like that. But I had a great time. I do think Thoughtseize is good. We didn't play against any matchups where it's good. Like where it really shines is combo control or just straight up like 12 post type decks. It's very good against Karn Forge. It's very good against any deck that doesn't kill you quickly. But we were playing up against decks that had Murktides. And I think almost every round either had Murktide or it had some other crazy threat like Blastoise that we had to worry about. And we weren't wanting to Thoughtseize them. The deck seems pretty resilient against Chalice. We played against Chalice. It really doesn't hit that much now that we don't have Tamiyo in there. It's hitting these 16 cards. I think that's it. And considering that you're going to be siding out, the Thoughtseize is hitting 12 cards. It's pretty good. Prismatic Ending is another answer to it. I don't think we need a fourth sweeper, but this Prismatic Ending was just like a last minute concession to like, well, we could play more carpets. I mean, it's not bad to play 4 carpets. I would need to adjust my sideboard strategy. Let's take a look at it real quick. So I'll just read through it real quick just to check my assumptions. So we did go up against blue-red tempo. We didn't go against blue-black tempo. I think that dress down is pretty bad against blue-red tempo, but it's actually pretty reasonable against blue-black tempo. And what we were playing against in that final round was kind of like blue-black tempo that just splashed green for, as far as I could tell, for Beanstalk. It didn't have Witherbloom Command or anything in it. But I think taking out a Riddler is totally fine. Most people aren't even playing for a Riddler, but I think it's so strong that you should play for. So we're bringing in Prismatic Ending in both of these just because it can cleanly deal with Tamiyo, and it can also deal with like a Delver or something like that at the RC. And then 12 post, we didn't face this, but like it's pretty clean sideboarding strategy. 12 post rarely plays Urza Saga, so you don't need to worry about that. So you can take out your dress downs and you can take out some lands and just play. Because we have so many Lorien reveals, if a deck is not playing Wasteland, I feel comfortable boarding out. And I know that hurt us in the Affinity matchup, but that was just variance. Please don't think that playing 18 lands plus 4 Lorien reveals is the reason you're getting a whole bunch of unworkable, no lander hands. That is going to happen no matter what. It's just unlikely. And you just hope that you don't get those in the final rounds. You hope that you get those in round 1 where it's not that big of a deal if you lose a game. But like if you get that in top 8 or something, it's devastating. But that's just a feature of Magic. We've got Karn Forge here. Again, I have been running into it a lot. I think it's coming back out. For a while, it wasn't coming out. But again, just the Consigns of the Force of Wills. Those are the best things to be doing against Karn Forge. This is where, like, Doomsday, Oops, stuff like that. These were matches I was losing a lot just because I only had Force of Will and Force Negation as my primary interaction. But now that we have Thoughtseize, I expect this matchup to go positive. I do think that Doomsday is a brittle deck that can be taken apart if you have Thoughtseize. And Thoughtseize is the ultimate weapon against them. And then, let's see, Omni, like obviously having Thoughtseize dramatically improves that matchup. Sneak attack, definitely. Eldrazi, you just board it out. You board out the dress downs too. It doesn't really do anything there. And then you got the Terminus, and so toward the end, we've got the Terminus matchups, Red, White Pride, Black and White Taxes, obviously Affinity, which, and Moon Stompy, you could bring it in, but I don't think they usually win with just one or two threats. I think we did play a game against Painter and we got to Terminus and it was extremely strong there. Overall, I think Terminus is great. A lot of people have been asking me, why not play Wrath of the Skies? And the reason is I think that Terminus triggers Beanstalk and it's just so much more mana efficient. Like Wrath of the Skies is pretty terrible against Affinity. It may seem like it's really good, but like you have to have a lot of mana and you're just not going to, the game's not going to last long enough for you to have enough mana to reliably get rid of, like you may be able to get rid of some of their tokens and some of their artifacts and stuff, but you're not going to be able to get rid of Blastoise with it. With Wrath, you're not going to be able to even necessarily, like you have to have 4 mana just to get rid of a Patch Adams or Patch. What is the actual name? Everybody calls him Patch Adams at my local. Luis. Shout out to Luis, great player and a very enthusiastic man. And he always plays Affinity. He always calls him Patch Adams. Okay, so yeah, I think 3 Terminus is a good amount, is what I'm saying. So again, like the only place that I'm not sure about, there were times where I kind of wish there was a Bayou in the deck. And then we went down to 2 Trops and a Bayou, but then, our fetches are less reliable. I was very glad to have the basic planes. That I think is a welcome improvement when you cut the Wastelands. Did I miss the Wastelands? That's the real question of the league. Did I miss Wasteland? I don't think I really did. Like there were some situations where I wished I could waste a Saga, and I think we did play against at least 3 Saga decks, but Dress Down, is, just as good, if not better, in many respects at dealing with Urza Saga because it's a blue card that you can pitch to force. You can play it at like certain times. This card just is amazing, and I think it's great. It's harder to justify when you're playing like Bowmasters and stuff like that, but we're not playing that. So let's say hypothetically we did shave the blackout and we just went to like a blue-white list with the green splash for Beanstalk. I'd probably play these dress downs and then we'd have four slots to basically put whatever we wanted in there. Not sure what I put. Like, I mean, Thoughtseize is better than all those cards, frankly. It helps the matchups where we're the weakest, which are the combo matchups. And like against fair decks, obviously we got smushed those final 2 rounds by fair decks, but I think we played against fair decks the entire time, which is great. Magic's in a great place if everybody's playing fair. And we didn't really have a chance for Thoughtseize to shine in this league, but I want to play some more leagues with this. I really did not miss Tamiyo here. I understand that like there are probably lots of games that we could have just won. Like, oops, we just win because you couldn't find your removal spell in time, and I had a force to counter your first thing. Like, that'll happen too. But I feel like it's very difficult to evaluate cards. Like, one of the things that I have trouble with is because you are hyperfixated on like your last league, and that's such a small sample of the meta. And also you don't like, unless you're constantly stopping to think like, okay, what if this Thoughtseize were a Tamiyo? And I think that's probably what I'm going to think next. Like, I didn't really stop to think about that, but during my next league, I'm just going to be asking, what if Thoughtseize were a Tamiyo? And then what you could do is, if you really want to play Tamiyo and you have a play set, you're worried she's going to get banned and you haven't already played her for like dozens and dozens of FNMs and stuff like I have, where I've definitely got my money's worth out of that card. And I guess it won't completely lose value if they ban it, because it's still played in Modern. But like, you could get out and use your, smoke them if you got them, use your Tamiyos if you got them. And then I think it's quite possible that she doesn't get banned, even though she's super annoying. If you look at the MTGO or like the Goldfish top 15 decks, the meta list here, let me show you. So here, obviously Demir Tempo, Tamiyo is the mascot of that. And then it really is just that. And Beanstalk Control, like everybody's on 4 Tamiyos. And that's really it. Like, none of these other decks play Tamiyo. Doomsday plays Tamiyo, I guess. Does it always play Tamiyo? I mean, this list isn't playing Tamiyo. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's hard to think that like people would ban Tamiyo when she's just in this deck, which, this deck is I don't think anybody's saying blue-black tempo is overpowered. It's a very strong deck. It's the strongest deck, but it's not like against our deck. I think we have a slightly favorable matchup against them, right? It's probably like 55-45. And they don't have like an insane matchup against any one archetype. So, like if that's the flagship Tamiyo deck, then is it really need to be banned? And it might not get banned. I'm sick of playing against her, believe me. But I could definitely hear the reasoning of people who are like, you don't need a banner. There are no bans necessary in Legacy. I think that's totally fine. Like, I'm not pining for the One Ring to be banned the way it used to be. It just doesn't it doesn't hit as hard because now we are able to play big control decks that can deal with the One Ring, like exile it. Before, we couldn't do that because we were so focused on stopping Entomb and stopping Nadu that we had to like warp our deck building. But now we can play big mana decks like the one I played today and still have pretty good results. So, I don't think the One Ring or Tamiyo necessarily need to get banned. Would I love to see them banished from the format? Absolutely. But if you're just purely doing it on like power level and meta balance and stuff, there's no reason really to ban them. It's just a fun factor thing. And it's the same fun factor that makes me wish that Oops All Spells was banned. Also, I'm sick of this being the flagship budget deck. Like, I feel really bad for people that are buying into Oops All Spells because they're not going to get any better at Magic. They're going to get some W's, but they're going to piss off people. Like, I'm sorry, but if you and I play Oops All Spells at like a paper tournament and our round ends in like 3 minutes, I'm not going to sit around and talk to you. I'm going to go do something else because frankly, you just wasted my time. Like, I came to play Magic, not to do a quick force check. And, cool. Congratulations on your win. But like, I've got other people I'd like to hang out with than you. And I think that's probably the sentiment of a lot of people. Like, they are not going to be all happy. Oh, you got me. Oh, you got me again. Oops, all play. No, they're probably going to be pretty pissed. Like, that's how I feel when I lose to Oops. It's not like the same as I feel like losing that blue-black tempo player or blue-black. Both of the losses tonight were at least interesting, right? I'm sick of this being the flag bearer of budget decks. I understand this is the best budget deck. None of these other decks are particularly cheap. Although I did watch Thraben Yu play the mono blue tempo deck, and he just destroyed with it. And that deck's like $700. So the Boomerang Basics, Storm Chasers Talent, Planisphere deck. So I do think that there is a lot of room for brewing, and like a new budget deck will rise to the top once everybody stops being hyperfixated and like, oh, I want to get into Legacy. I guess I'll build Oops All Spells. And most of these cards are not good in any deck other than Oops All Spells. Like, what are the expensive cards in here? Poxwalker. Wow, Poxwalkers is that much money? Pact of Negation, of course, one of the most degenerate cards. Never should have been printed, in my opinion. $66 for a playset. I'm not sure if these are actual prices. Like if you got on TCG Player, you could probably do a lot less. Academ's Awakening. Sorry, you're never going to play that outside of Oops All Spells in Legacy. Felt the Profane is actually pretty good. I played it in some of my mono black decks. But yeah. I don't know. Like I would just say like friends don't let friends play Oops All Spells. Hopefully Wizards just bans this out of a fun factor decision. Yeah, it really sucks to just randomly lose to it, even though you are doing everything you're supposed to do, shy of like playing 4 Leyline Bindings in your blue deck sideboard. I do play 4 Leyline Bindings in my non-blue deck sideboards, usually, just out of respect for this deck. But anyway, I could talk all day about the meta and stuff, but I'm very happy with how it is overall. I'm very happy that like Punishing Waterfalls played his Birthing Ritual, and we actually, in the previous league, we played against it. I'm not sure if that league is going to be live by the time you watch this, but probably. And it's live for members right now. If you want to become a channel member, you get access to all my videos. And that's not me being greedy. It's just, it does help with the channel. But the practical reality is like I record like in bursts and I'll upload like 8 or 10 videos. And then I'll stop for a while because I'll have like a bunch of family activities or birthdays or holidays or something like that, a trip, and then work trip. And then I'll finally get back down and I'll record them. And if I just push like 10 videos in one day to YouTube, none of them are going to get any viewership because people are going to be like, why are you publishing so many videos? I can't keep up with all of this. So instead, I just have the Monday, Wednesday, Friday release schedule. And then what that also allows me to do is leagues where I had like, it was a mediocre league. I don't have to publish those because I'm only publishing 3 videos a week, but like I can bank them. And then, it just gives me additional flexibility. And it lets me make better videos. And the people who are willing to pay, I think it's like $5 a month, but it'll be adjusted to where you live. So it'll be like less, probably in Brazil and places like that. The people who are willing to pay can watch everything immediately. So I just want to be very clear that this is not like me. I know YouTube's going to show members first, and stuff like that. And people sometimes comment like, oh, it's frustrating that you're not just letting us watch the video. And believe me, you can watch the video, just wait a few days and you'll be able to see it. It's just that, I can't, like, it has to do with the recording schedule and everything like that. And, the alternative would be nobody can watch any of the videos before they get published. And I just hoard them on my hard drive and upload them to YouTube, at like a normal cadence, like 3 times a week, instead of being able to put a ton of them up and get you the content earlier if you're willing to spend some money for it. So shout out to all my channel members. I respect you. I appreciate you supporting me. It does help me justify this relatively expensive hobby to my wife. It's a huge help. And everybody else, thanks anyway for tuning in. I still appreciate you watching, even if you don't, if you leave comments, that's helpful. That helps the algorithm. It certainly is nice to see what you all think, especially if you include comments with timestamps. If you're critiquing my play, that is very helpful, other than, oh man, amateur hour over here, something like that. That's not very helpful. But if you can specify, oh, that was a very amateurish decision at 38:05 or something like that, that's super helpful, because like, I'm not going to shoot the messenger. I want to read your criticism. I just need to know what you're talking about if you're going to leave criticism. So shout out to all the commenters, but double shout out to all the members. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.